Good evening, Extranet and multidimensional traveler. Welcome to the And Beyond Breakdown stream.
What's up, everybody? How's everyone doing today?
Hello.
Here we are. It looks like everything's running. Everything's going well. As always with our streams, let us know if there's any volume issues, if one of us seems too loud or quiet, along with in ratio to the background music. But we should be good. How you feeling today?
I am caffeinated and I am here, so we're good.
That's wonderful. Yep, so if you're wondering what's going on today, this is the And Beyond 2-day Season 1 appreciation stream, I guess. We're going to be watching through all the episodes of And Beyond, including the unofficial pilot, which was the video that started all, which was Ash's analysis on the relationship between Ben 10 Transformations, NRG, and Atomics. And we're going to be going through how the series has evolved over the years, in art, in writing, in how we might have handled certain things, how we, basically just how we do it, pretty much. We're going to be going through it all. If any of you are familiar with our breakdown videos or our previous breakdown streams, it's not going to be as intricate. You might notice we have a schedule posted in the description, in the community tab, as well as on Twitter, on what we're going to be doing with the streams. We're going to be spending about a half hour between with each episode, and then some episodes that are about a half hour long. Doesn't give us much wiggle room for pausing, but we have done full-on like multi-hour breakdowns on those before right here on this channel. So if you want like the really deep nitty-gritty analysis of the episodes, you can check those out. But this is more of just we're hanging out, we're watching through the episodes, reminiscing a little bit, and also here to promote the TORAS keychains. This is our second makeshift campaign that we have going on. So with our first one, what are you holding right there, Ash?
Well, of course, this is the R300
Plushie.
Horus.
It cut out, so it said like, well, of course this is the art Horus. But we got Horus in. Yeah, it's Horus.
This is our original campaign, where we needed to sell about 200. We ended up selling about 522. So thank you everyone for that originally. But now, if you have one of these, you got to make sure you get his little buddy. You got to buy him. All the 500 people that bought a Horus before, you got to get a TORAS, please. We got to sell at least 500. And
yeah.
Horus needs his cameraman.
So this one's a little bit more ambitious. The Horuses, we only needed to sell 200. But they did cost a little more. These ones are cheaper than a Horus, so if you missed out on one, a TORAS keychain is at least a little bit more of a easier financial purchase. But we have to sell 500 to get these made. Currently, we're at a little over 300, I believe, this morning. But we're trying to really push for these. It would be awesome to be able to get these. If you haven't purchased a Horus, keychains are great. You can bring them around. They're easy to store. A lot of places to put them. And then if you did get a Horus, they pair perfectly because of the size accuracy to the show. So it's nice.
Hold your Horus up to yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So what was I saying? Oh yeah. And last on the note of the TORAS keychains is the 5YL motion comic is coming out finally. It's been in the works for a long time. But we have 3 episodes ripe and ready to go that are debuting next week starting October 16th. Episode 2 is October 18th, and then the final one is October 20th. And every, couple of months or so, we're going to be dropping batches of episodes like that. But for Chapter 3, there's going to be opportunities for either you or a character you've created to cameo in the show. And you enter by purchasing a TORAS keychain. So there's a link to the rules in the chat and down below, along with a lot of our recent videos that we've been posting. But essentially, one purchase is one entry. So you buy one keychain, you get one chance. If you buy 3, you get 3 chances, etc. And then you email either a screenshot or forward the proof of purchase, basically saying like, yes, I really did buy a keychain, to toraskeychaincontest@gmail.com. And then we will randomly select a winner tomorrow at the end of that stream. This is a 2-day stream. And then up to 6 people have a chance to win, so there's a pretty decent number of chances to win. It's not just 1 or 3. 6 people, we will either have you can send us a picture of yourself and draw you right in the motion comic, or if there's a character you've created that you would like to be a citizen of Bellwood, we will draw them in as well. There are certain regulations to make sure this is as efficient as it can be, which is why I strongly advise reading the rules. But other than that, we're really hoping to meet the goal. We're excited to have all of the entries come in and have 6 more people contribute to Five Whales Legacy. So it's very exciting. But today we're focusing primarily on and Beyond, which is where Taurus has come from. So very excited about that. It looks like we got a pretty decent chat going on right here. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Which episode are you most excited to watch today, Mr. Ash?
Honestly, and it might just be because spooky season, but the inner episode. Wait, is that it today?
We're doing that tomorrow.
I'm excited.
You're just like, you know what, this batch, screw it. Yeah, we don't want this batch.
Sorry. I've already messed this up. I'm so sorry.
It's all good.
For today, in all honesty, probably Sonorosia, because of those first couple of episodes, Sonorosia is probably my favorite that I worked on, and I love seeing people's feedback of it.
That was a pretty fun one. What's up?
It's the episode that everyone like found the trend of. Oh no, Ash makes them all kind of sad. So, and I'm like, I didn't know I was doing it.
Yeah, all of the species do have some sort of dark twist to it, but I mean,
that's
you know, yeah, like it's as simple as that. Species are complicated. I'm sure they all have their different dynamics with their relationship with their environment and their fellow class. So it happens, and I like that and Beyond. It reflects a lot of different things that go on with species, because it's like a true analysis of them and their culture, and it's not just all the good stuff, like the tourist version of Zanelli that we've done in the last episode. You know, if in universe you watch that commercial and it seems like Zanelli's like this fantastic poppin' place, then you get to know its lore and its culture and realize like the true nature of some parts of the planet, which is interesting. Wonderful. So it's almost time for the history of Horus. That's going to be pretty fun to talk about. So we did want to open up with a history of Horus segment, which we're basically just going over everything from the creation of the character and how he developed over the series in a short 15-minute span. Longtime viewers have probably heard a handful of these stories before in greater detail that we're going into here. But we do just want to kind of line everything up and really put into perspective like how Horus has evolved over the years. We're just gonna go through a nice like bullet pointed list, how Ash created Horus, his initial ideas and designs, then the different methods we adapted and evolved and changed him. So that's going to be fun.
It would snowball into what it is currently.
No, yeah, I mean, we should have seen it coming. The way that we operate.
Well, back then we did. It was we operated similarly. Yeah. We didn't see the snowball grow, and I'm like, oh.
It's so fascinating though. Like every project that we do, like we just fall in love with like the creation of it. I think that's what it is. It's just once you have everything down to a T, it becomes clockwork. It just becomes like a concrete pipeline, which is great for production. But I feel like and Beyond benefits a lot from the immense creativity it has. So to keep things fresh and keep things fun, we do not only like evolve the show, but evolve the production of the show. So that's pretty great.
We kind of use it as like a testing grounds for stuff.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like whether it just be ideas, the original thing of it being that it started from just a theory. And just, oh god. You remember back when we originally talked about it, and we were going to be like, this is going to be released monthly as quick little videos.
Yeah.
Talking about the planets.
To be fair, the first couple of videos did only take a few weeks.
That's true.
But, you know, now it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, on the note about testing grounds, honestly, a lot of the methods and skills we had to develop creating and Beyond created such a strong influence in the motion comic now too. Because back when we first started planning to do it, it was literally just going to be a straight dub. I didn't want to overcomplicate it. I just wanted it to be a new way for people to get invested into the series. And it would just be still images, but then, you know, and beyond, learning how to do, like, camera tricks and, like, different layers, different effects, different movements. It came very easy for me to do it with the motion comics, so I feel like the motion comic is so strong because we made And Beyond first, so that's another strength in it. My voice is already hoarse, and we are 11 minutes into a 5-hour stream.
Oh no.
This is, I'm gonna get some, so I have my little secret stash of seltzer water here.
It's not a secret no more.
No. But you'll all forget.
That's how he keeps it fizzy. He keeps a stash of seltzer.
I do, you know,
all time.
it's the perfect catchphrase because I love seltzer water and I, you know, keep it fizzy. But the catchphrase came first, so, you know, retroactive meaning behind that.
See, mine's the reverse. The I'm surviving. It's because I struggle on a daily basis.
Well, the struggles make you strong, good brother.
Oh yeah, they keep me surviving. Like, no joke though. It originally came from that movie, the Shaun of the Dead. Like that's his thing when people ask how he is. He's like, "I'm surviving," and I love that movie.
I never made that connection.
Yeah, those movies are great. I rewatched World's End recently. Oh, great.
Thank you everybody in the chat right now. It's great to have you. Thank you for tuning in. I saw someone earlier ask if these streams will stay on the channel. Yes, we do want to... Whenever we stream, we try to maximize rewatchability, but a lot of things are rooted in the current events, like the TORAS contest. And, you know, this is like the finite way of Horus is now, as the series will evolve in the future. You know, then it won't be the complete history of Horus.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, you'll still have the chance to come back and watch and, you know, compare what's future Kuro and Ash saying about And Beyond.
We're doing a stream 4 years from now. Rewatching this stream.
This is the opening. Yeah. We could just do a bunch of blank, like fill in the blank reactions. Like, really? That's what you think now? That's gonna be relevant in 4 years.
It's gonna be like, okay, well you don't have to be so rude to us.
Yeah.
In 4 years, I'll remember to be like, God, look at how cringy we were.
Jeez, I never thought I'd try that haircut.
Oh, still wearing that hat.
What could it be? Alright, well, I think it might be time to start diving into the history of Horus.
The history of Horus.
The history of Horus. Are you folks ready for this?
Ooh, buddy.
So, if to my understanding, you also have some actual Horus lore to unveil with us as well, in conjuncture to the production.
Yes, actually. So
you're like, what was it?
It took me a second to realize what you're talking about. Wait, are we? Oh no, we're not. It's the other thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
I re-looked at my little script off to the side.
Are we spoiling season 3 right now?
Oh. If y'all see me glancing off to the side, notes.
Yeah, there's just a big red sign that says, "Don't mention this, this, and this."
Don't talk about.
Yeah, and then the paper flaps down over the NT and don't, and it says, "Do talk," and you're like, "Okay."
So, a bit of just confirming a bit of Loris. We have never confirmed what Horus's name actually. People, if you don't know, Horus is just an acronym.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Your mic is dipping a little bit, and I just wanted to catch that before you got into it, to ensure people can hear you.
Is it something I need to fix on my end?
I maybe just bring your mic closer. There's probably some technical solution, but this is the best for like an immediate solve. All right,
That's
continue.
Fair. I'll also talk a bit louder. I'll be more announcery.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, to confirm.
You just cut out again.
Really?
I guess it's not a sensitivity thing then. It seems like
testing one.
All right, just go for it. I'll let you know if it happens again.
So to confirm good.
It's only when you try to start talking about it.
What the hell?
Like, only
I'm just
then.
gonna skip that sentence. So I can.
Is it Discord?
I guess.
That should be a mic sensitivity thing into it. Like, have you ever messed with that before?
Previously.
It's not ink tank if there's not technicalities. You know, happens every time.
Baba Booey. No, it's saying that I'm being picked up.
Is it filtering like the levels at all?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Oh,
This is so weird.
there's a way to like really get into it. You should let's just chance it. I mean, for some reason, it's only when you try talking about the lore. I've heard you perfectly since.
Okay, I'm just. Horace's name originally is just anagram of my online name, ORAsh. Very simply. But today we are giving an actual like breakdown. So his full model name is the R300 Orion IT System model O whatever number. So the R literally is just reconnaissance bot, like robot. I don't have a suppression on.
It might be automatically on.
How do I do that?
Go into
On
your
Discord?
Yeah, go into your settings. Go to maybe voice and video. Let me see if I can do it off mobile.
Okay.
Beautiful stuff. This is what we're all about, man.
Yep, the scuff has to happen at some point. Oh, okay, there is... Crisp is on, apparently. Thanks for...
That was Paxton, Mr. Ben Tennyson himself, the savior of the universe, the savior of the stream.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I can't hear you at all now.
Ah! How about now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Alright, let's give it a shot. Here we
Testing
go.
one. Heard? I don't see the box.
Yeah, now it's somehow worse.
Oh my god.
I don't understand it. Thank you, folks, for hanging in. We're actually at our peak of viewership right now, so they're all witnessing this.
Oh, cool. They all get to see the skull. Okay, can I be heard now?
Yes, you're
Booey.
heard.
Okay.
What's the word?
Okay. Alright, so,
Okay.
Horace's name. The R stands for Reconnaissance Robot. 300 is, for every model version that they try out, they print 100 copies for, like, different variant testing. So the 300 is the fact that they are on their third iteration of printing. Orion IT System, that is plumber system that it bases its networking in, because that's the plumber base in which the Orion squad works. That's their area. And the model VO is their individual model variant out of 100 that is printed. So it is the R300 Orion IT system. Blah, blah, blah. As far as his actual name, Horace stands for the Hovering Observational Reconnaissance Assistant Squid.
We're getting that.
As well, huh?
I said we're getting that. Sorry, I'm just trying to encourage that
Okay,
you're
cool.
being heard right now.
I was like, I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah, no,
while
you're
I
good.
see-
You're good. Sorry, I shouldn't have stopped you.
You're good. But to add on with that, Taurus's name, because originally Taurus's name was just a joke. It's a tiny Horus, Taurus. His stands for the Tiny Observational Recording Assistant Squid, because he himself is essentially just a up camera. He doesn't do reconnaissance specific.
No,
But yeah.
he's got the camera functions. He's the cameraman of and beyond. He can only say beep beep.
Beep beep. Yeah,
Yep,
can we get a beep beep from the voice actor first, please?
Did it do it? It might have
I
been
didn't
too
hear
high.
it.
All right, let me try backing up.
I heard it sounded like a baby bird at a distance.
Okay, well, it's too high for it to be picked
That's
up.
fair.
Yeah. So you're Horus and I'm Taurus.
Yes, of course. Hello, Taurus. How are you?
Hello. So I'm gonna pull up that concept art now, and see if we can start getting into the history of Horus.
All right.
Good stuff.
So, for the history of Horus, mind you, so if it sounds verbatim, yeah. Originally, Horus came about because I thought my voice was going to be way too boring as a narrator for ambience. Plus, at the time, I was new to Ink Tank, and like a lot of people would question the confirmation ability of the information that I presented in videos. So I thought making a character in universe confirming the information would like people would tide over better with. So Horus was we started working on it. As far as Horus's originally Horus's voice was going to be something akin to like a 1920s transatlantic like radio show host, like good evening extranet multi-dimensional traveler, this is and beyond. I thought that we were going to be using some kind of like low pass filter on his voice anyway, so that kind of 1920s voice along with that filter would make like an old radio sound, which I thought would have tied into the original like show aesthetic that I was going to go for with and beyond, which was going to be like a 1950s like new space age aesthetic, and the radio voice I thought would have fit perfectly with it. I quickly realized though that voice strains really fast. So Horus's current voice actually stems from like what my easiest voice to do at the time was,
Which is SpongeBob SquarePants. Because I like the sponge.
I ended up tweaking his voice a little bit though.
Like, SpongeBob has this really big nasal pinch that makes like a ha sound in his voice. Horus doesn't have a nose, so I got rid of that. And then I made his cadence much more slow and much more well-spoken to make him more clear and robotic sounding.
And then as far as actually recording his voice, it didn't become easier over time, because as some of our patrons know from behind the scenes videos and stuff, I struggle with his voice a little, especially in recording sessions, so that my breath is not picked up.
Usually when I voice Horus, I don't exhale or inhale while doing his lines, so that they sound as robotic as possible.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun bloopers on Patreon of you messing around as Horus.
Yes, it's bad.
Yeah, but it's kind of funny though. I mean, he's a tough voice to do, and you got to do it for a long time. So it warrants the struggle. But you're a trooper for sticking to it. 10 episodes in, season 2, hot in the presses right now.
Oh, buddy.
Oh yeah.
I'm so excited for sore throat.
So now that you know what his name means, you know his canon origin, his production origin. Let's talk a little bit about how Horus has evolved over the years. So originally you sent me this here PNG on screen. And I remember I was editing the And Beyond episode, the first one, Terradino, and he was sent to me sort of to just be a character on screen, sort of like, like a YouTube avatar or something. We use them in our videos sometimes when we don't do face cam. And we recently acquired assets from Epidemic Sound, so we had a lot of sound effects and background music to work with. So I was playing around with like moving him across the screen and even trying to make it look like he hovered, so it kind of looked like he came to life. And his hovering sound effect is this thing that I do with my tongue. Let me see if I can do it right now. My mouth is so dry. Hold on. With like reverb and stuff on it. So we started making him actually like a character, not full on animated, but tried to like put a little bit more personality into his presentation rather than just being a video host. And then we used him for a few more episodes. We loved him, loved the way he was working with the series. He was getting a good response. So then you did the second version of him right here, where he was reshaded much more enhanced. We didn't use him too much.
So shiny.
Yep. In fact, he first debuted in a contest that we're going to talk about in a little bit. But then this became our horse for a bit. And he first actually moved, instead of just being a sliding PNG, like moved his eyes, was in the Krypton episode, which was hosted by this character here named Zero. We chose to go with a different host for that, for the lore reason that it started off in a different universe, so it's not actually the plumbers investigating Vegeta and Krypton. It's, you know, Dr. Gero sending Zero into there, Zero being like a number before 1 because of all the androids or cyborgs having different numbers. He was like the prototype. And then we liked the idea of messing around with Horus's design or even the different hosts. We had a contest at one point. This was when Horus's shaded form was first revealed. These were the winners back in the day. There's a video on this channel right here, the Rust Bucket right now, where we went into detail about the contest, how it worked, who entered, how we chose the winners.
Increased the Horus horde.
Yep, increasing the Horus horde. Then we had the Anur episode, the infamous Anur episode, where you did a lot of promo art for them, Horus, in different like Halloween ideas, and then we liked them and wanted to incorporate them into the show. So it became natural to use the idea that a lot of the Anur creatures aren't really privy to outsiders in the first place. So Horus trying to go undercover so as not to spook the locals became a canon reason to have him use all these outfits. And I think you only did like 3 or 4 at first, like just for fun, right?
At first, I was doing them for fun. Doing it right, Thepku, and I think a pumpkin one. But then, like, we were like, oh, we can use this episode. That's when I guessed.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Galvin one is just the example at the beginning of the episode. I do actually really like.
Hello, sorry, I'm here.
Oh no, you're good.
Yeah. But also introduced in that episode is the star of our keychain campaign right here, Taurus, which we created just for the joke that you know, Horus tries to investigate Anur and dies. Yeah. Anur Validus, whichever one.
Yeah, vampire planet.
Yeah, and I thought it'd be funny if he just like spawned a little like offspring just to kill it. To put it simply. I mean, that wasn't like the direct thought, but that's like the summed up version of what this led to.
He's like, I don't want to be destroyed before the end of the episode.
Yeah. And then he evolved into having the role as like the cameraman of And Beyond, because before then we never really explained like how Horus captures all this footage of himself, if it's not POV. So we had some fun with him. And then we were at the point where we had two opportunities coming up. One, well, not really an opportunity, the desire for Horus to be more animated, because we moved his eyes around a lot. We gave him the power to adapt and transform. Yeah. We're like, at this point, you know, he's got a lot of lore. People love him as a character. We got to start treating him more like a character. Have him move. Have him, you know, express his face.
Bring him to life.
Yeah. And because of the nature in which we create these episodes, which, to put it simply, Ash here writes and draws the stuff and I edit it. It's a little more complicated and there's overlap there, but that's the simple version of it. But a lot of the times I won't know what Horus is doing or where he'll be on the screen or how he should like interact with something until right then and there when I'm editing. So, if Horus needed a specific piece of him or something created for that scene to work, it would be easier if I could just make it right then and there and throw it in, rather than going back and forth trying to get Ash to draw everything for Horus. So I asked him if it's all right if I just started drawing Horus from now on, if he kept doing everything else. He agreed, but then we discovered an issue with how we drew Horus.
Oh yeah,
because here, I'm gonna throw the original Horus or the shaded one on screen. Mm-hmm. What I didn't know is you were drawing him with the intention that the bottom half of his face is cylindrical. Well, not cylindrical, like a dome. So his head looks like a UFO. Yeah.
Yeah.
But because I couldn't see the corners of the head, because the eyes overlap him, because he's actually at a slightly downward angle. We're looking at him from above. I thought his head was rectangular, so that's how I drew it. So we've both put out a lot of art of Horus over the years of drawing him with two different heads, and now that we're making the transition to animation, just as a quick tangent, I realize we've gone over the time limit for History of Horus, but we had a late start and it'll be all right. The first review is only an 8-minute video, I believe. We had to decide how Horus was going to look. So on our Patreon, I think this is the first time we're releasing this publicly, we tried getting a lot of input on the pros and cons and how we should handle Horus and draw him. And then you'll see down below, I actually did create an alternate version of Horus with a rounded bottom half of his head in case that's what everybody preferred. But after a lot of input, and also another factor was what would be the easiest way to transition him into being a plush, because this was also at the same time our first makeshift campaign started, and they needed a 360, or at least like a bunch of different looks of what he looks like, so they can adapt him to a plush form. So that's when I created this design sheet that I sent to them. You'll see I originally wanted the portal piece to come off, and suggested a bunch of different ways, but because it was too small, they weren't able to do it that way. So, but his eyes glow in the dark, which is nice. So this is what I sent them after updating Horus's design. So it was a battle between what would be the easiest way for Horus to animate and what would be the best version of him as a plush. We went with the rectangular head, and we had him transformed into a plush. We had to sell 200. We sold 522. All thanks to you guys and your immense support. We're trying to do it again with the keychains, and since streaming, we've already sold a couple already. We're up to 319, which is fantastic. We're 63% funded. We need to sell 500 total in the next 10 days and 22 hours. That's another, what, 171? 81? I think 81. I don't know. Can't do the math right now. But anyways, yeah. So we created this version of Horus now. This is the new Horus. He can blink, his eyes can move, his neck can extend, and his head can tilt independently from his body. His tentacles now slightly move and stretch and warp as he floats to make them look more wiggly. And then we just kept adapting him more and more. Originally, I just made this version, which is actually like 10 or 11 images stacked on top of each other, with some alternate pieces when needed. But now that we did the Ledger Domain episode, where that's the first one where you were storyboarding a lot, right?
Yes, that episode is fully
storyboarded. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, if you cut out, I might just try to finish what you're trying to say.
Fair.
But in your perspective, if it looks like I'm speaking over you, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to clarify your words.
You're good.
Ouch.
It was a
So
joke,
anyway,
I'm sorry.
no, I'm just kidding. So yeah, we did this version of Horus where he had a whole bunch of different angles, but yeah, because he was the first one to be storyboarded, we had a lot of different shots we were trying out. So it became time for us to create just Horus from every angle, so that we can expand our shot choices. And with Horus being redesigned, we had to do Taurus as well, since he started making more frequent appearances, which you can see on screen. We now are selling him as our current makeshift campaign plush, so if you'd like to support and beyond, please grab one within the next 10 days. You also can win a chance to be in 5YL the motion comic, you or your OC. But yeah, that's the history of Horus. Thank you guys for this little education into our lore. Mr. Ash, would you say you're ready for us to watch the first episode?
The pilot episode. Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, we're watching the pilot episode of And Beyond. So,
Oh, buddy.
This was a video you wanted to make. This is the first one that that I remember you scripted out and sent the script with notes to me with your audio, and then I edited it. So that's how we do all of your videos now, like drawing matrices or different ideas you have here and there. But this is the first time we did it. So I actually think it was a pretty solid success. I think we interacted and communicated pretty well in this. Yeah. So let's jump on in and take a look at what led to the creation of And Beyond. It would help if I change my layout. There we go. Now the folks can see what we're seeing.
Perfect.
Alrighty. Okay, and we will have a Q&A section coming up soon. It's marked on the schedule, which you can view down below in the description and in our community tab.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's dive into it.
When I grow up, I want to go to the moon.
Why wait?
I forgot about that.
That's from Ass Stuff Movie, right?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
Of course, I gotta put Venus.
Oh man, I don't know why you're cutting out so much, man. I feel so bad.
What?
Yeah.
Baba Booey, Baba Booey.
This doesn't even happen like when we stream together regularly.
Yeah, we were on a call for like an hour.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Let me try one thing real quick.
Okay, we'll try to do one save. While you're messing with that, I will say this is still one way I used like a handful of like 8 or 9 different ink tank variant logos. Hershey got those done up for me. I forgot who made them. I would have to ask Hershey, but he just sent me a folder one day and was like, I got these animations made. I was like, sweet. And I used them for years, but now I'm trying to prioritize stuff that we make, unless it's like small little like insert assets or B-roll.
Our own original stuff.
Yeah, since I didn't make any of these intros, I've stopped using them. But I don't know, maybe I'll bring them back because I like them. I don't need to be that nitpicky. But yeah, let's dive in.
Also, let me know if this sounds better.
Good evening, Internet
sound good
World
so
and
far.
Omniverse. As
Oh,
many of
God.
you know from my work, I'm an avid lover of any and everything Ben 10, no matter the art shifts, retcons, or pointless assets. But like many other fans, I have mixed
All the
emotions on the
whoosh sound
aliens that Ben
effects for this
acquires in
transitions.
Omniverse.
I stopped doing that too. It became too
With
much.
16 new transformations as well as
Oh,
all
that
the previous
Omnitrix.
ones, it's no
Yeah, you made this whole graphic too. You did a lot of custom art for this video that I forgot about.
It was the first time I ever did at all for any video.
Yeah, look at this whole thing. Did you draw all of these icons too?
Every single thing, yes. I did it at the individual Galaxy Note tablet before I had a PC.
Good stuff, man. I mean, these we can still if we ever find these, we can still probably use them.
as well as all of his previous
Heck.
ones, it's no secret that Omniverse really took advantage of the fact that Ben has access to over 1 million different alien species. Most of the time, they would use a gag or plot convenience to introduce a new alien, which every series has done before, but the Omniverse boys in particular don't feel very fleshed out, aside from their unique ability and a few quirky personality traits.
Look how much green there is all over them.
I will say, as well, when I say quirky personality traits, I've seen so many comments possess Ryan in that moment. Like, it sounds like you...
Me saying like quirky personality traits?
Yeah, like, listen to me saying quirky personality traits in that.
Done before, but the Omniverse boys in particular don't feel very fleshed out, aside from their unique ability and a few quirky personality traits.
Like, it almost sounds like you dubbed it over.
That'd be funny. I should do that in a video one day to see if anybody notices. It's just like, good evening, I'm O.R. Ash, and welcome to the Drawing Matrix.
I swear to God. It's like the Kevin thing that you do in the
Yeah.
breakdown.
Oh yeah, all the Omniverse.
Say,
The quirky personality trait.
This is quite unprecedented.
There doesn't seem to be much more to the character, and their amount of screen time does not help their case. Now, don't get me wrong.
You know something? These squares are all here because I couldn't... Back then I was really not good at like cutting out logos. And I used the paint bucket tool and these showed up and I couldn't get rid of them. So I just made a couple more intentionally.
Well, also, I didn't know how to export things transparently. And it was compressed JPEGs because I didn't know what PNGs were.
Oh. Okay, yeah, well, we both fucked up here. Oh,
Yeah.
whoopsies.
Again.
Well, that's out of the bag now. We can swear on the stream.
Oh, cool.
I love Crab Attack and Crash Hopper, but some of these
still
boys
do.
That's so
feel
good
they're
too, I like
lacking
that.
something, and that's
Thank
a
you.
place in the universe itself. One of my favorite things about Ben 10 lore is that there is a lore. His transformations have species and homeworlds that we even get to see.
Those are cool. That's ultraviolet there, right? From 5YL?
Yes. I was like, I want to use our stuff.
Good stuff. See, I like the drawings here, but one thing that I used to struggle with it a lot too was like drawing things and making sure they stay on screen long enough. Because like in the script, like you gotta like think about the timing. So like this is a great drawing, but you drew it to only work for that sentence.
See, I'm still working on that too, because I know that I still slip into that problem sometimes.
To be fair, I could have edited it to just stay on screen longer as well, but I didn't want to take over your notes too much. Yeah. Yeah, back then I tried to not like dictate what you do too much. I still try not to. But sometimes I'm like, yeah, we can't release that.
This whole video, it may have spawned an animated series, but come on.
I didn't hear that second part.
Oh god. Microphone, please work.
You're like, but
there's literally no sense.
Yeah, this was not happening before we went live. I don't know. And now we're live, so that's
Hello.
that.
Okay.
Oh, that's okay. I'm sorry, man.
It's whatever.
Worst comes to worst, I'll
just
call
try
you
to
on the
talk
phone
loud.
and just hold the phone to the mic or something, and then we can mute your visuals and like, that would work, right?
And yeah. Yes.
All right. Yeah. Worst comes to worst, I'm just gonna call you.
Cool.
Worlds that we even get to see as appearances in some episodes.
And
Developed in their
Premiere froze.
backstory-
Lovely.
Some are so developed in their backstories that they're worked into the main plot of the series, such as the Crystal Sapiens of Petropia, all of Enera Transil, and Galvin Prime. And it's a sad fact that there are only a few aliens in Omniverse with no species, planet, or backstory at all. We never see or hear about these aliens past Ben going hero, and new information about these guys is still yet to surface to this day, 5 years later. While the mystery of the aliens were never resolved in Omniverse's final episode,
This is
we
also
hear
the
things like
space
to take
background
the
that I use for
opportunity to
Ambient
expand upon
too.
the missing lore.
Oh,
yeah. I downloaded it for this video and was just
And
like,
out of all of the
well,
Omniverse
here we go.
aliens
It
that don't
works.
have species, the
Oh,
one that
all
we're gonna
the
be talking
OG
about today
5YL
is
art
the one
too.
that bothers me the most. This lava lamp-headed Autobot.
Oh god.
Now this,
I made that edit myself.
yeah, this is I like this a lot. It looks pretty good.
I'm not incorrect. It
I like
looks
how it's
it.
the Transformers animated one too, so it still like kind of looks like the Omniverse feel.
Mhm.
That's good stuff.
Thank you.
I was very happy about that musical transition.
Oh yeah, it works great.
I was like, ooh, I'm so good at editing.
Atomics is OP as hell, ranking it at Ben's third strongest transformation just under Way Big and Alien X. After accidentally being dialed up by pre-brain
What about
acid,
Clockwork?
he's only appeared a handful of times and were given
Look, shut up. I didn't research as much as I do now back then. Okay,
No, I think that maybe even came from a quote or something.
probably. I think it's what I saw that like the wiki or something, and that's probably.
Yeah, it happens.
no background on him aside from how strong he is.
Which of your 10,000 aliens should I
Oh
try
man, I
first?
should have cropped out those black bars.
Diamond Head? Ooh, Atomic.
Nah,
Nah.
it's that classic feel.
This too. This is nice. This is lovely.
I spent so long on that, and it's only on screen for like maybe 12 seconds.
Oh, it's so good though. Do you still have the image somewhere?
I have the whole thing, yes.
Do you have Atomics on a different layer?
No, he's stuck to the background, unfortunately.
That would have been a nice sticker.
I do love this still though. Like,
Yeah, that's good. I love the little Pikachu upchuck right there.
a Chuckachoo.
A Chuckachu. Upchu.
Living out in the universe, someone would have some information on it. Characters know about celestial sapiens and the
That's
Nalgian
pretty
that
good,
exist
too.
on higher planes of existence.
looks like a
but
different
not
art
this
style, though.
Nuclear robot Goku.
That's
that
my
sounds
old
like
art
Zeb
style.
or Anakin.
Really?
My friends, you can
Yeah,
take
no,
away a
that's
man's
like my
title
old
and his
OG
uniform,
default
but you can
style.
never take away his integrity or his honor.
I am no bug. I am Atomics.
And based on lore bits of canon species and planets left for us by Man of Action. Love you guys. I believe
So this was
We
actually
still do.
before Man of Action really started talking about Omniverse.
Fair.
Yeah. But now they all of them are pretty involved in like responding to online. I know Duncan gets a lot of the spotlight, but it seems like anybody will respond.
believe we have a pretty solid theory as to where this Pacific
this
Rim
poster.
ripoff may have came
Yeah,
from.
this poster.
Now, in order
This
to
is
find
nice.
out where he came from,
I wish
believe
that I
first
made
we
it
need to
big
find
enough for an
something or
actual
someone
poster.
else in the Omniverse
I made it
that
by,
is
like,
similar to
400
based
by
on the two
400
genetic
something.
factors we
Yeah.
know about him: his abilities and his appearance. Let's start with his
Oh,
abilities.
unpixelated. Look at
His
that.
primary abilities to create, store, and manipulate nuclear energy made pretty clear by the literal reactors on each arm. All that energy built up in a single body makes him pretty powerful. So powerful that he can knock out an ultimate evolved Vaxasaur with a single punch, send objects near out of orbit with a single kick, and even create a ball of energy that lasts implied indefinitely, even years after Ben's change back to human form.
Wow, that is bright.
He can generate heat, shoot beams of energy, fly, and take quite a wallop thanks to his hard metal body. Which leads to his next factor, his physical appearance. First off, I'm not a fan. He looks like if
I'm
Apple
still
was
not.
in charge of making a RoboCop, or a NutriBullet.
How many of these did you come up with?
I honestly had a list of like probably
Of like
20 or so things.
just roasts for Atomics?
Yes, look, I had just finished watching Omniverse prior, and I'm not a big fan of him. I'm sorry.
I get you, man. I mean,
Ugh.
you know what's funny in terms of roasts, in my recent breakdown at the time of recording, Manny Happen returns. The second Omniverse 16-year-old Omniverse forum shows up. I had like a minute-long roast session of him that I cut. And I was just like, nah, this is too much. People already know how I feel about this. It doesn't matter. But it was pretty much just this, but about Omniverse forearms. And I was like,
Yeah.
nah, let's cut that.
We just need how we used to do like secondary side video, main video.
Yeah.
Just do those. It's a minute-long video of just all.
I think that'd be funny.
Mm.
I think I know what you said. I was trying to read your lips.
Is it still do? I don't understand this.
It's only.
Why?
It sounds like it's exclusive to when you're trying to say something important, like someone's sitting back there with a switch or something, just messing with you.
Crystal, where are you?
filled with toxic waste. Ooh, wait.
It would
no,
be
no.
Crystal.
He looks like one of those early 2000s superheroes made for the Skechers commercials.
We get
He does
Essentially,
though.
he's
He does.
an energy taking host in a mechanized body that can contain said energy, and it is known that his energy can be harmful to those around him. He warns Gwen to protect the others and try to get them as far away as possible
Get
before
back.
attacking. Taking into consideration his powers and physical traits, I came to one solid conclusion that seemed pretty obvious in hindsight, actually. He's NRG. Like the Tin Can Man, he's just an OP version of NRG. Both in physicality,
I stand by
seem-
this.
Yeah.
I stand by this. Their baseline abilities and everything. Like,
I see it. No, I support the theory too. I think the
Now
thing
they're-
that makes them the most different is that NRG is a being in a suit, whereas like Atomics is that, right? Or is he also supposed to be a thing in a suit in
well,
this
that's the
series?
thing. We don't know with Atomics. He looks mechanical, so I feel like it's the suit is integrated into his body, kinda. Like,
Yeah.
Granted, there is someone that made a Reddit post with one of my Ultimates videos explaining all the difference between fission and fusion and da-da-da-da that says they're different. I don't care. The way that they did it in the show, they're the exact same powers, kind of.
You're like, just so we're clear, I don't care about you, sir.
I don't, but also relink me that post, please. I want to read it.
Oh, I don't know if I'd be able to find that.
I was talking to the person that.
Oh. No, I mean, like, when it comes down to like the science, like if it doesn't make scientific sense, you could kind of just excuse it. Like, I think, like, even if there's no like scientific way to link these two together, I think you like make a solid case where like how their lore can intertwine.
Oh yeah.
And you know, it's Ben 10, so like the science can only take you so far. It's neat when it lines up with what we're trying to do, but if it doesn't, like, it'd be pretty silly to sacrifice the story just because something's not realistically provable.
Yeah. In a sci-fi cartoon.
Yeah, I mean, there are certain limitations to it. Like, there's like the realm of going too far, but there's also the realm of like what is it called? Suspension of disbelief or belief, whichever
Yeah.
one's the right one. Yeah, there's like a middle ground there. You know, don't get too crazy, but like, it doesn't matter if it can't live in our world. I mean, Ben 10 can't live in our world. There's no Omnitrix.
There's no
to be
Mr.
nearly the
Smoothie.
same.
There's
Energy
no,
hosted
there
in
should.
a mechanized
There is a
body.
Mr. Smoothie,
Looking at both of
actually.
these
Oh, yeah,
guys
there is.
comparatively, Atomics is
Ugh.
on a completely different level than Energy. Hell, just watch our power scaling video. Link in the
Oh,
description.
that's gone.
But aside from
It
the power
doesn't
level,
exist
the only
anymore. Yeah, that's gone.
ability
Link.
difference I can see between these guys is that
Yeah, I will
Atomics
clarify
can
that because
generate-
I feel like I used to try to answer this question a lot before, and I've stopped because I felt like I did it a lot. But maybe it's been long enough where I need to update some people who still ask about the power scaling video. That was made based off of a lot of other people's scaling that were helping me with the video, and they scaled things in very contradictory methods, but they were both working on the same project. And at the time, I didn't feel like I had the credibility to just be like, nah, this is what I think. I felt like if I was collaborating with people who do it like what you can label as professionally, it's just weird to say professional power scaler because like that implies there's like a concrete thing for
The
it.
ones that had more clout than you.
Yeah, I mean, there's people who were really good at it and they monetize it, so is that not professional? I guess so. Professional power scalers. So I was just like, I don't want to step on their toes, but the longer it was up, the longer I was just like, you know what? I really don't think I agree with this, and it's on my channel, so I took it down. So that's, and I'm not really that motivated to remake it. Maybe one day, it's not impossible, but I don't care that much. So that's that.
generate energy.
Nucleokinesis.
Also, real
While
quick, I
energy
just
can
changed another
absorb
setting on
radiokinesis.
On what?
so my
and if you
voice
wanna
might come
specify
through.
that they both have
better.
radio.
Did you say what you changed your setting on?
Yes, it was. I canceled echo. God, is it echo cancellation or something? Let me see. Was
I don't know. Just keep messing with it.
Telekinesis.
Something will
The
happen.
manipulating of
Yeah.
energy.
By the way, I really like these. We completely glossed this over. I love that you put in the effort to like send me all of these different assets to animate it.
oh yeah. See, this is literally like beta and beyond.
Yeah.
Because like I was really wanting to do explaining infographic stuff.
And I didn't even
just
tell you
really
to do
like
this
it.
either. You kind of like intuitively knew like these all had to be separated in order for me to do that, which is nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. And NRG. Yeah, good stuff, man.
If you
Good
want to
stuff.
specify that they both have
Thank you.
radiokinesis,
The manipulating of energy.
but that Atomics additionally has nucleokinesis, that just means that he can generate the energy he's manipulating. And with all the similarities, it got me looking into energy species a bit more.
The following information is canon and stated by the Man of Action team. We love you guys.
Energy is a
I don't know
Pripetosian
why I
bee
talk
from
the way I
planet
do.
Pripetose.
Sorry.
These species are composed of
That's all good. I was really weird in my earlier videos
giving
too,
them the
man.
ability to shoot
I
said
still do
energy
that
off
now,
of
though.
beams, as well as generate
No.
heat so hot it can melt through stone and metal. They can also turn intangible, fly, and absorb energy.
God, I love these concepts right here.
Oh, they are really dope.
Good stuff.
If I were to pick one that isn't the actual design, honestly, I would either go with the furnace belly design on the far left,
Yep.
or the one that has like the horn on the top. Just because I
Oh.
like that. I like that idea. It looks cool to me.
You know, this kind of looks like Edel, and this kind of looks like Maltruid. Like only vaguely. It could very well be a coincidence, but I could see a
that's where
case
they came
being
from.
made that like these had some inspiration there.
Orb energy. His planet
Energy
Pripetose
Idol.
used to have the most industrious megacities of the Andromeda Galaxy.
With glittering structures towering to the sky.
But
the
due to
sky.
an unspecified
The
conflict,
sky.
atomic war broke out. It stated that the entire surface of the planet became irradiated and almost overnight started to affect its residents.
All right. Where was that stated?
From what I remember, it was like one of the like toy box art
Oh, okay.
things.
Yeah, I didn't have any Ultimate Alien toys, so I didn't really read any of those.
I
might have
did
seen them
not.
on the
I had to
wiki.
find some. I had to find screenshots of it, like
Yeah.
through the wiki and stuff.
I mean, yeah. Like, I feel like recently, the community has gotten a little bit tighter on, like, the threshold of continuity between inside and outside shows, but, like, back then it was the Wild West, man. You read something online and someone who worked on the show said it, you're like, ballin'.
Creating mutations and resulting in two notable subspecies, Pripetosian A and Pripetosian B. To avoid further genetic damage, some citizens moved underground and rebuilt their prosperous society with a protective layer of lead surrounding
Now,
it
this
to
part
keep
is your additional
Yes,
things?
this is my
Okay.
interpretation.
I'm liking it.
any radiation from leaking in. These people became the A subspecies. Others that chose to stay on the surface thrived in the wake, because like ghouls in Fallout, they started absorbing more and more concentrated radiation, resulting in mutations. These became the B subspecies. So basically, it's similar to the Merc and Perk Gorman subspecies grouping, where they differentiate just enough genetically to warrant a separate transformation. To explain as to why they're so different, I believe it lies in the amount of radiation each subspecies has absorbed.
This is where I get speculative.
But first, a word from our sponsor.
Oh yeah, our sponsor. Oh man, this freaking white halo around the PNG art. You know what sucks is, like, I used to not know how to get rid of that, and then I figured it out. But a lot of the original 5YL chapters were made with it, and it's impossible to get rid of all of it. So some of the motion comic stuff is going to come out, it's going to have this, and it's just, you can only get rid of so much, man. It takes forever.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to skip through our own ad, because...
They don't give us money anymore.
Yeah, we're no longer sponsored by them. We were sponsored for that video. Or we can watch it.
Nah.
Okay.
I tried buying a shirt through the thing, and I never got it, so I'm salty.
Oh man, yeah. You know what? if you didn't even get your shirt, man, then their ad space limits here.
I think when Species A sectioned itself off underground to protect themselves from further radiation, they couldn't completely avoid it.
Yeah.
At least at the beginning. Meaning they still got irradiated. But maybe the lower amount of radiation they received...
Me over-explaining science.
DNA was able to
the
adapt
origin.
as fast as it was mutated.
So this species is trapped underneath, and they get a lower amount of radiation, so they gradually get used to it.
Yes.
Like the whole put a frog in a pot of water or something, and then you turn it up and they get used to it. You never heard of that?
No. Why
well, now
are you
I sound
frogs?
No, nobody's doing that, but at least I hope not. But there was like this thing going around where, like, if you take a frog and put it in boiling water, it's gonna jump out. But if you put a frog in still water and slowly raise the heat, no, I'm not boiling frogs. I promise.
It's the jacuzzi method.
Yes.
No, I get it.
Yeah, and you know what? Now that I'm actually trying to, like, think about the logistics of that, who found that out?
The French. That's why they eat their legs.
Oh man, I don't want to think about that. Okay,
yeah,
so
it makes me sad.
these are the French frogs here, the Atomixes.
Resulting in a new species that can manipulate energy. And after a few generations of it being hardwired into their DNA, they probably needed it to be sustained and adapted to be able to generate it, creating their own independent source. Species B, on the other hand, was left in the wasteland above, absorbing more and more radiation and continuing to mutate. I believe that now with their overly mutated bodies that these guys may become dependent on...
To be honest, I only put the text on screen because I was like...
I over-explain.
No, not even... Well, not that you're over-explaining the information as in, like, it's hard to follow. It's as if, like, there's not a lot going on screen. That's something I struggle with in videos, where, like, if there can't just be the same still thing happening on screen for too long or people will zone out. So I'm like, oh, have some text come on screen. That's honestly why I started doing it in And Beyond too. Because the earlier episodes had really just long shots that, like, we didn't animate back then because we didn't know how to, like, do all those crazy things. So I was like, have some text come on screen. That's a motion. That's as deep as I thought about it. I was like, text moving, boom. Put it in.
I get it, and it does work.
Energy.
It gets that little itch in the brain.
Yeah.
And because they're in a radiation-enriched environment, they don't need to make it themselves. Not being able to generate it themselves, they
also it helped clarify Horus's voice too. Some parts were a little rough in the earlier days, but we'll get to that.
Premiere episode. Then, looking at the containment suit itself, in its first appearance we see that close to nothing can crack it open except for Titanite. But looking at the suit, it's obviously not that shiny turquoise space diamond itself, but a dark green tinted metal. Possibly
don't let nobody tell you different.
My thought is that it's a mixed alloy of the two to create a literal prison to protect others from the dangerous physical body of the Pripytosian B. They may have even been developed by Pripytosian A as a way to protect themselves from the Bs. Seeing that they can generate energy and that B are literally willing to kill for it, in the suit, energy can't absorb, or leak, and the same goes for Atomics. His body being specifically...
I wonder how he doesn't leak out of the front vents, though.
...to avoid his predator.
He does, that's how he shoots the lasers
Atomics
at
is
them.
way stronger than energy. Why would he be afraid?
Well, because...
This is you!
You probably.
Yeah.
Atomics would just look like an all-you-can-eat buffet to him. Energy would be walking out of the fight looking like someone just spray-painted Stay Puft red. So to put it simply,
I like
my
how
theory is that Atomics
aside from
is
the line, I didn't give you any.
Pripytosian A from the
I was just like, I'm just gonna go for it.
Of Ben's Chernobyl-themed alien energy.
It was that shot, is what I was thinking of.
But that's
the
just
puffy version.
Yep. Ben 10 theory.
Oh god.
No, that's not.
You know, I wanted to play the clip so much longer, but I was afraid of being striked. But I was like, damn, I just want this to go on. But I feel like it's quickly showing up and coming away. It was better
We know
paced
that Man
than
of
the
Action
video.
had some plans for lore and ideas for Omniverse that just didn't make the CN cut, so maybe this could be true. They always like to pepper in little details like this in the fact pop-ups they ran in the original series, and we may never know.
Now, if I
But
could change one
because of the
thing,
amount
I
of
would swap
evidence
out
and the
Man of
fact that
Action
we here
just
at
for
Ink
something a
Tank
little
like
more
this idea
ambiguous.
so much,
Because it
we
might not have
decided to
been
make
them
this the
specifically that
canon
said it.
species entry for Atomics
like
and 5
the
years
Ben
later.
10 crew
The
or
comic that
something.
Ink Tank and I
Admittedly,
work on
back then I
Now,
wasn't
this
as
wasn't part of
educated.
the original.
Oh yeah, this was me
'cause I
saying.
didn't do as much.
Well, I'm sorry, what?
I said back then I was like nowhere near as the franchise as I am now, because it was just I watched it and that was it. But
Yeah.
now I actively do research and stuff to make sure all the information is clarified.
I get you. Yeah, it's yeah. Like I said, like the community is getting more and more and more. Yeah, they just want to make sure everything's true, I guess, to put it simply, and that's totally valid. It's just there's so much contradictory stuff out there. It's frustrating. It's like, what's really true? I think this is like where we showed 5YL Atomics, which became pretty
Yeah.
divisive, not gonna lie. I still like it, but for those that don't, valid. But yeah, that was the fun of coming up with our own lore, or your own lore, should I say, because this was all you at the start, led to And Beyond, because you were like, I want to do this again, but I want Horus on screen. I want to do more custom visuals, so that you can like explain your theories better, so that it's not just, you know, the silhouetted PNGs that I was using. So we started getting a little more artistic with it, which led to episode 1 of And Beyond, the first official episode of And Beyond, which is Terradino. It looks like we're back on track with the schedule. Thank you all for dealing with our technicalities. It looks like that threshold has been crossed, but hopefully it's smooth sailing for here. Let's do a quick update on the Taurus keychains. Remember, we only have about 10 days left to grab a keychain. It'll really help us out if we're able to sell 500. And they're about 13 USD, and you can win a chance to be in 5YL, the motion comic. The link is down below in the description, and the rules are pinned at the chat and also in the description. Please buy a Taurus keychain if you're able to. Por favor. That's about it.
Bring Taurus to life, just like me.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes. Here we go. Ooh, this is much louder than the last one.
It is.
Okay.
Ah.
Good evening, Extranet and
Let me tell you, it took me 4 hours to figure this out.
And that's just a single image.
I didn't know how to warp or squash or stretch. Crystal makes it look easy. This was like the hardest thing in the universe to me. And you barely even notice it too. But he does like wiggle a little bit when he gets closer and further. Man.
Good evening, Extranet and multidimensional travelers.
Is this still too
That's
loud?
And Beyond, where we plunge
It's
into
fine. Just I'm cringing at the voice.
the moving and explore our ever-expanding multiverse.
Yeah.
I am your host, the R300, Orion IT Systems
But
Model
it's still pretty
4.
good for Horus.
You can call me Horus. Today we'll be continuing our series of extraterrestrial exploration on the pungent planet of Methanos.
That's
Please
right.
keep all appendages inside the portal at all times, and please refrain from stopping.
Isn't this supposed to be Terradino?
Oh, yeah.
You jumped up. I was like, wait a sec.
Good catch. Good catch. I was just going with it. I was like, honestly, I was low-key zoning out, trying to like pray to God there was no freaking like technical issues happening. I was like, yup, things are working. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were just, it's my boy. Let's
I
go.
was like, look at this. The stream's working. I can hear Ryan.
The following
All right,
information
now I'm
was
paying
gained 5
attention.
years
Thank
later
you.
and was put together to help establish a solid world build for the series and its universes. We hope you enjoy.
My eyelids are itchy.
Oh.
Good evening, Extranet and multidimensional
This is
travelers.
the OG
Welcome
Horus
to the first
voice.
episode
Yeah.
of And Beyond, where we plunge into the void and explore our ever-expanding multiverse.
I love how you say
I
it
am your
too.
host,
And beyond.
He's very excited.
Yeah, bro, let's go.
But you can call me Horace.
It's Horace.
Today,
He's
we'll be
here.
starting our series of extraterrestrial exploration on the prehistoric planet.
It's
of
Humongosaur.
Please
He's
keep
from
all
the
moving
show.
inside the portal at all times, and please do refrain from taking any eggs as souvenirs. That is someone's child, so that is kidnapping.
Okay, real quick.
Yup.
One thing. The fact that I made Horace make a joke in the intro every time. Oh my god, it's so hard to keep that bit up. That's why in the last one with Zanelli, it's just like, prepare to get slizzard if you're partnering with Blizzard. Like, it just...
Yeah, because we were just messing with each other at that point. But yeah, I think the last three, ever since, like, the Magic one, I remember, like, sitting there with you trying to, like, figure out the joke, and it would always be, like, the last thing we do is, like, what's the intro joke? And it's, like, the most inconsequential thing. But we take it so seriously.
I usually just ad-lib it when I'm recording. Like, in the script itself, it's just insert joke for intro. And I'll just try to think of something.
Yeah.
Which that's what I did for Horace's original, the thing with the egg. I just said that during the recording.
Don't eat kids.
Don't
do it.
Kidnap kids.
I mean, yeah, that too. Just stay away from it. Oh, yeah, this is loud. I was so proud of this intro, too.
The saxophone.
Yeah. This, like, unintentionally became, like, And Beyond's, like, theme song, because I just kept reusing it. But when I chose this, I was like, this is it for now.
I like it a lot.
Terradino, one of the oldest planets in its system, on the surface appears to be one giant jungle wrapped around the entire planet, with 1,000-mile-long mountain ranges separate.
Now, I don't remember. Did you tell me to put these things here?
No, that was just you.
Okay.
Like, you did that, and honestly, because it works really well.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's still... A lot of these things are just still born from me being like, there's got to be things happening on screen.
Yep.
So I was like, blink, here's some trees. Some real footage of trees.
Honestly, I kind of like that, though, because it makes it feel like he sent Taurus down, like, actually look at stuff in the environment before he gets there.
Yeah, I kind of like it. It reminds me of, like, those, like, old nature shows where it's just, like, they would have, like, animated segments, but also, like real footage, too. Yeah. And, like, sometimes I feel like it doesn't look weird. Like, it's noticeable, but I feel like it doesn't look bad that we're using, like, real footage with a cartoon planet. Somehow it just... There's a nice... There's a nice visual there.
Mount Rushmore in the show.
Yeah, right?
There appear to be only 3 small surface-level oceans, but in actuality, beneath the crust of the planet resides one massive ocean sandwiched above the mantle.
Yeah, you were a fast talker as Horace
back then. As a result, the
then.
planet's crust rotates at a slower speed than its core, making the days and nights extremely long and earthquakes frequent.
I love this transition that...
Thank you.
Because the zooming thing you do every time, and it looks so...
It's like a whole bunch of different, like, Google Earth style, like, zoom in things that I blend together, and I tried to make it pretty seamless, but, like, yeah, figuring this out from the start was rough. Like, it's a very simple result, and it comparatively does not look that great, but from trying to figure something out with no tutorials or from scratch, I think it's pretty solid.
A rough and tumble world teeming with life that has stood the test of time. The planet is home to dozens of reptilian and aquatic species, but 3 in particular have become the dominant.
Yeah, I remember these silhouettes. I was just like, damn, it's just the sky.
As sky skimmers, gangly reptilian birds standing.
Oh wow, the notes are up here.
Wingspan of 8. Living amongst the clouds, they rule over the sky, preying on any and everything that enters their airspace.
Oh, okay, so right here, that thing of Horace getting slapped. So, if we were to do this episode now, how we do And Beyond, this would have been like Horace is flying by and like it would actually get slapped and it.
Yeah, it would have been a segment thing. And I wouldn't have. I would have made sure it was framed so he's not sliding in from it, and I definitely wouldn't have the text up here. Like this is everything we did wrong in one frame right here.
Welcome to the first episode.
No background, still images, weird text. Weird Horace filter. I take some blame for that, the early Horace voice too. I know you're hard on yourself about it. I don't think it's that bad, but like the filter I chose did not help. It took me a bit to figure out a good balance.
Airspace. They're able to blast off like rock.
Like rock. Damn, now it's
They're able to blast off like rockets thanks to their retractable wings and the combustible gastrointestinal fluid they can
That's
take
not
from their
bad.
stomachs and then vent out of their lower back.
That's pretty
They
good.
can also extend tentacle-like appendages out of their forearm coated in the same fluid, used for swiftly
Oh,
catching
I would have
prey
gotten
or
higher
even at
quality
times, a
footage
weapon.
and something without the
Sky skimmers are
CN
known for being
logo
very
there too.
pompous and think that they're superior to many other resident species.
Oh,
due
this
to
is
their
a
ability
very
to flight.
obvious
They even
mirrored
discriminate with others of their own
PNG.
species.
I love
distinguishing
these
the
though.
difference
This
in
art
class
looks
based on their
solid.
crown scales
This is
located
some
on
solid
their
art,
heads.
man.
Thanks
I
to
wanted to
Sky
make it like
Skimmers,
textbooks
Terradino has a very
images or what.
loosely based caste system that they are perched at the
Oh yeah,
top
right
of.
here where you
Living
see
at the literal
the.
height of their
Yeah,
society,
and
then
stone
the same
spires
rock
created by
copy
their
pasted on
underbound
top of
underlings
them.
on the surface, the Vaxisarians.
I mean, hey, we got this shit done in 2 weeks.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Like, that's the pro to all of this. We did get it out quick. You know, that's something. That is notable. That's more than we can say about anything now.
Yeah. Jeez. Oh, this landscape shot. Oh, God.
Oh yeah. No, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I saw this and I think I like tried to turn up the Gaussian blur so you couldn't see it.
Thank you.
Oh, then they fade in. I loved this though. The fade in with the music.
Right.
I love this whole establishing thing.
That makes it, with the fade in, it makes it feel like a storybook.
Yeah.
Vaxisarians populate the surface of Terra.
Oh, and the custom fonts. I stopped doing it because it was too
Named
much.
ground shakers, these bipedal reptiles
Also,
stand between
wasn't
12
there an
and 18
issue we
feet
had
base
with
height and can more than quintuple in
the
size at
actual
will.
name of the
Though they're
species or something?
Oh yeah, we misspelled all of them in this.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah, you know, ink tank. Yeah.
Also, I back then, I tried to do, with the art style, all colored lines for stuff, because I thought aesthetically that would have been cool.
Mhm.
I very quickly abandoned that, because it does not look...
It's
like,
also
just look-
it takes a while too, right? Because you got to keep switching colors and you got to make
It
sure the
takes
right
twice
lines
as
don't
long, yeah.
overlap. Yeah,
Exactly.
Like this little red line here can't be overlapping the brown one. You have to like do it systematically.
Stature is large.
And when it doesn't,
their
it
brains
doesn't.
are not.
Yeah.
As they grow, their strength increases, but because the blood is pumping to their massive bodies, less is going to their teeny tiny brains, slurring their speech to a level of grunts and growls. As they grow, sections of their skin will forcibly callus to create an armor.
Now I remember
from head to tail.
I
Except
wanted to show like clips from all versions of the show in this, to make like this ambiguous harmony of the Ben 10 universe through and beyond.
Yeah.
Which is why I specifically showed a clip from Alien Force in this.
for on their
Not Alien Force. God, that would have been normal. Alien Swarm.
except for on their underbellies. Though their size and appearance is very intimidating, they are a very kind people, regularly fighting one
I
another
still
for
love
fun.
that drawing
They
of
spend their
the
days
three of them.
roughhousing and
I do
working on
too.
Skyscammer spires. Because at night, they must go on the defensive against their natural predators, the Tyrannosaurs.
Look at that.
The artwork, man, I just... Not to cringe at my own
Large
stuff, I'm just...
I still think it's not bad. Like,
Hard armored
I think
reptiles standing at a
this
large
art style
distance
could have
of
worked if we
150
kept pursuing
feet,
it this way.
being the
But
only known
your
native species
current
larger
artwork
than
is
the Vaxisarians. Due to the sheer
very much an
mass they
improvement.
possess, no known ground shaker has been able to lift one for more than a few seconds. Additionally, they can produce a high
Unless they grow. Come on, man. Make Humongousaur grow again.
Look, Omniverse forgot they could grow.
Yeah, he just doesn't. Like, there's this
I
big
just-
predator, and ooh, watch out.
I almost tacked on a thing that was gonna be, oh yeah, the reason that the growing thing doesn't work is because the Tyrannopedes could also grow, but I didn't add that in because I thought it made Tyrannopedes too OP, and just I don't know.
Maybe like when they get stuck with the webbing, it like sends a very fast acting poison throughout their cells that stops them from multiplying, or however you explain their growing or something.
And that wouldn't work with the Mugogonians because they have fishy skin. The poison would just slip off it.
Well, Mugogonians don't grow their entire body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. No, yeah, you're saying that's a good thing. Okay. No.
Yeah,
All right. No.
That's
I
how
get
that
you.
Mugogonian slipped into the Tyrannopede's throat. And...
Right. Okay. Yeah. Good stuff. That's canon now.
tensile strength of a piece of web to attract their prey.
Retcons,
Ground
let's
shooters
go.
fear the Tyrannopean and have only survived the constant onslaught of attacks thanks to the Sky Skimmers. Equipped with their gas-powered gliding abilities, they've developed a tactic to deal with predators. They would use their forearm appendages to tie the multiple feet together.
This
and
audio
knock
is
them
not
over.
balanced.
Once on the ground, they would use
Nope.
their fiery fly
there's a
fingers
lot
to
happening.
eliminate
It's
a
like,
piece of web sack
what?
under its jaws, burning the Tyrannopede's death from
I can't hear you over this dying dinosaur.
this dinosaur that pterodactyls are lighting on fire, and other dinosaurs are cheering.
Yeah.
It's a lizard-eat-lizard world. Not being ones for waste, both species would use every part
Now
of
this
the
part
predator
was
for
your
meat.
idea to have Horace come on
It's hide
screen
for
again
clothing, bones
during
for
this
building
segment.
materials, and it's
Oh
meant for,
God, why did I try?
well, eating.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
With every Tyrantel killed, the ground shakers would hold a feast, celebrating the survival of the tribe and thanking the Sky Skimmers for their selfless assistance, offering them anything in their capability in return. Taking advantage of the ground shakers' kindness, they demanded homes, reaching high into the clouds, higher than
This
the
was
trees,
actually...
and work promptly started.
I like
erecting
this.
stone structures that
I
towered
do
over
like
300 feet tall.
But I wish that I was more consistent with.
Yeah, like it's kind of nice. I think it's the first real example of like, and he even grows. Look at that.
Yeah.
All the
That's
building,
good. That's good. I like that. This is good stuff, man.
loud feasts through the days and nights were not so kind to those living below the surface, the Mugogonians.
The Mugogoni. Now this is full fan fiction right here.
Moving underground, we have the home of the Mugogonians, socially
The
labeled
species
as
that
mudfish.
Hershey
Evolving from
came up
various
with.
aquatic
So Hershey
species-
came up with this character, and you developed his lore, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, I love their little fishy-looking faces. Look at them, man. That's great.
From the subterranean ocean, they stand between 5 and 6 feet with yellow.
Oh, that
skin
clock
and
thing,
prominent
wow.
Pisces features such as
Yeah, I
dolphins,
do actually
turtles,
really
and
like
eels.
that.
Mugogonians
Just because, like,
possess the
when we
ability
talk
to
about
manipulate their
evolution
arms
now,
7 times their
it just
regular
kind of
mass,
jumps between
increasing their strength
images.
and density.
Yeah.
We don't
They
have
use
them
this
actually
ability to dig the
transition
impressively
from
large
one
tunnel
to one
systems
to
that
the
they've
other.
made into their home. During their digs, they would find various minerals and precious metals they would later learn to cultivate and craft into level 2 tech, such as tools and simple machines. Despite being underground, the Mugogonian society is far more advanced and developed than the brutish surface dwellers. On multiple occasions, Mugogonians have attempted to migrate to the surface
Oh, I do
and
love
make
how
peace with its
expressive I did
denizens,
these guys
but were
are.
met with attacks by hungry sky skimmers and
It was around this episode where you came up with the idea to give them texturing on their like darker flaps or whatever they are. I liked that.
Yes.
When I was recalibrating pages, I went back and added it in to all the artwork of Crunch because I liked it.
accidental tramplings by the ground shakers. But many still strove to see the sun and wanted to move above ground. Thanks to the work of Ambassador Ezra, multiple pods were granted clearance to move to the surface on the condition that they kept their technologies a secret. Many complications occurred because the residents were so
Oh, yeah, their
accustomed to
facial
their
expressions
lifestyle and
changed.
many
I
snuck
like
tech
that.
up to the surface against protocol. This angered the higher-ups of the down
Plus, I was really big into making sure there was body diversity, even though an alien. Because that's the biggest thing with the UAF era. For me, is the stock art looking like repeated background characters
Yup.
and stuff. I wanted the like you get the leader guy that has like a big shark fin or a shark tail coming off the back of his head. No, the short fat one
Oh.
is the leader guy.
Because this guy
He's
kind of
short
looked like
and-
the dude from Shark Tale.
Oh my god, it does. I didn't even notice that.
I thought, okay.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, I see this. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted there to be like a good body diversity, and it's just I like these guys a lot because it let me do that.
I like it.
to stay on the surface without their tech. As a result,
That was a
the
good shot
ambassador-
too, all of these different pieces. There's a lot of neat little things in this episode. What's this part?
Those that were stuck above ground became hostile and would constantly steal from other
Big
surface
turkey
dwellers
leg.
just to get by. Because of this and their natural abilities, they were labeled as grippers. Despite these actions, ground shakers respect and have no quarrel with grippers. This is because a gripper was
Approved.
killed, saving the lives of multiple ground shakers from a tyrannopede. Intentionally letting the beast swallow him, the gripper inflated his arms in its throat, blocking its airflow and suffocating it.
Hell yeah.
Unfortunately, himself as well. This created a great respect for grippers amongst the ground shakers, but was mocked by the
That's
sky
beautiful.
skimmers, many making jokes such as,
Oh my goodness, species harmony? What a joke.
"The beast choked on its dinner." Tensions rose from the
I wish I took off the Horus filter for that. Wait, no, because it's Horus imitating him, right? It's not a
Yeah,
little
I
character.
kind of wish I didn't have Horus imitating. Like I think it would be better if it was just a clip of him saying something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
he's...
this. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say his personality isn't really formed here, anyways. Like we wouldn't have even known, like, is he the kind of person to do something like that or not? Because we haven't developed him as much. So
That's true. Plus, with after developing him, he doesn't really do stuff like that. Like he'll make jokes and stuff, but like he doesn't really do voices and stuff.
right, yeah.
I will say though, this big image that it's about to pan through, I do love this one, and originally I drew it so it could be like a poster for the episode if we ever did anything else with it.
Oh, before I came up with a thumbnail style for it, maybe this would have sufficed.
Oh, that would have been really
like
cool.
The thumbnails I tried to make in a similar style to the Reboot's Alien World series, so that folks would know right off the bat, like, it's a similar vein, as in, like, we're gonna be like going through them in a documentary style.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a little visual relationship there.
Tensions rose from the mocking and disrespect and created a constant feud between skimmers, with one looking down on the other and one demanding respect. With all three species intermingling on the surface, tensions became very high and created the very competitive environment that we see today.
Yeah.
Terratino. A tough world to live in for sure, but thankfully, we were just visiting. Make sure to plunge back
yeah,
into
he's
the
very
world sometime
stern.
and join me on another extra
Wait, one sec.
Yeah.
I just realized you used the wrong tree back. This is when he's running. It's supposed to be ocean.
There was another one?
Yeah, there was one that's just trees by itself.
Oh.
Like standing normally. I just noticed that.
I guess I didn't see that. My bad.
I don't know. It's whatever. It's just funny to me. It looks like
he's
trees.
slowly hovering to the side.
Exploration. And next time, don't forget to bring your nose and earplugs. You're going to need them. This is
I wish I,
Horace,
like, shook
signing.
Death.
And yes, we destroyed the boy because we didn't know if we were going to do more.
Right.
So we were like, if not, he's gone anyway.
Oh, this was before I changed the name of the website, too.
Oh,
yeah.
dang.
I think I own both domains, so it still redirects.
Oh, that's cool.
One of these days, I'm going to stop paying for both domains, though. But not today! So that was Terradino. I liked it. Honestly, I remember it with a lot of... I don't want to say regrets, but just, like, a lot of ideas of how it could have been done better. But as is, I still really like it. Like, I think we only feel the way we do about it now because of what comes later, but, it's... No, you don't really see videos like that, where, like, they try to make, like, an in-universe expansion, but, like, through an in-universe method of, like, Horus hosting. Like, sure, there's probably other concepts out there, but when you think about it, and beyond, it's a lot more unique of a way that we're doing it, especially, like, with the character of Horus, all the original artwork, and especially just your method in which you develop these characters and, like, expand the lore. Like, I feel like you do it in a very how would I put this? It's like what people would enjoy, but it still feels like you're making it your own. Like, it never feels like you're just doing it at the sacrifice of, like, this is what people want. Like, you're always making it your lore, and this is what you want to do. And it's also something that people love.
Yeah, I do kind of go into it with that mindset a little bit of, like, here's the initial idea that I have that I enjoy, and will other people enjoy it? There are things, probably in each episode, some at this point I've forgotten, that were like, oh, I want to do this, but I don't feel like people would like that concept, or it would contradict with something else, so I end up just not using it. I know there was a lot of stuff during the Ledger Domain episode that we'll talk about tomorrow, that I had ideas for that I ended up cutting, like, completely. But, like, I want to make something that not only I enjoy, but the community enjoys, and that they can, like, have a gathered consensus that it works with the continuity as a headcanon.
Yeah,
so
and I
so
guess
to
there is
point
the
that-
restriction of, like, making sure it still fits within that world too, right? So
Yeah.
there's limitations.
I mean, at this point, I've seen people either refer to this as, like, oh yeah, it's the headcanon, I go, it's awesome. Or some people confuse it for actual lore. And I'm like, that's kind of cool if people can't tell the difference sometimes.
It is kind of
just-
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's aspects of it where it's just, like, I feel like we do a decent job trying to make it, like, clear that, like, we do add on to our own like our own we add our own vision to this in terms of and beyond. So this, like, in context of the episodes, for them to make sense, we present it as the canon of that universe, but in a greater scheme, we wouldn't just be like, yeah, and beyond's canon to Ben 10. because we say so.
Just for the ink tank.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
Yeah. Try out a different tank. Put your ink somewhere else, buddy. We're all set.
Just loose ink in there. You're supposed to put this.
I walked 3 miles to get here.
Gonna walk another 3. Sorry.
Yeah. See ya, man. Oh man. So I do have a quick question before we dive into Swampfire, since we do have a couple more minutes. I know you're not the biggest fan of Humongosaur, right?
I like Humongosaur. He's not my favorite alien, but
yeah. So why him? Like, why start with him?
Oh, for the first. Okay, so
Yeah.
what it was the original intention was that because we learned a lot of stuff of original during the original series. The Alien Force and Ultimate Alien eras are what I felt like didn't get expanded upon the most. So originally, I was going to do all the Alien Force aliens in order of their appearance. But then it dawned on me, the Humongosaur is not the first one. So I guess it was just, I decided on, because I also wanted to cover the Mugglegonians. Because in 5YL, they are canonically on the same planet.
Right.
Plus, at the time, with Methanos, originally, Methanos and Sonorosia were going to be in the same episode because there wasn't additional stuff to them. It was just going to be them. And, like, very basic overview of the planet. But then we brought in stuff about Disc Jockey. You approved that I could change the lore of... what's his name?
Acid Grime?
Yes, that Acid Grime came from Methan, so that it worked. I know at some point we were gonna do Jet Ray's planet and then have Poison be there, and we are like,
oh yeah,
maybe not. Not everything has to be from the same as an existing alien. But then I made Foghorn.
Yeah, that we have this trend of like. You can kind of expect when we go to a known homeworld that there's going to be a new species there too. So it's also something to look forward to. We get to expand on something we know and then learn about something new. So I like that. I like that we were slapping on like new boys into the mix.
I will say though, I don't want people to think it's like every single time we do one, it's going to be a new alien. Just because like. I do like doing that, but also within the real scheme of things, there's multiple intelligent species that host in one, even if it's a primitive planet. Like with Acid Grime and the Methanos episode, it's more so, oh, they weren't discovered really until later, or really brought up because they're just not. The people didn't really know about, but they are there.
Yeah.
I try to make it work within context, because even in the Aeropella episode, the Leviathans, yes, people know they exist, but it's more like rumors and stuff because it's like secretive pirates that hide out and da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, alright, yeah, Humongosaur sounds like the perfect person to start with then, because he is a popular species. You came up with some great lore for him. We got to do Crunch, too. I'd say it's a very successful...
and Astrodactyl.
And Astrodactyl, right, yeah.
Not barely.
Yeah, I just block him out, man.
I do, too.
Yeah.
I like our version, but like...
Technically, he's the first and beyond alien you ever see, because you start with the Torbasarians.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yeah. Astrodactyl, man. So we're going to jump right into Swampfire's episode now, Methanos, episode 2. But once again, I just do want to shout out the Taurus keychains. We have sold a couple during the stream already. Thank you so much. We're currently 64% funded. We need to sell 500 within the next 10 days. We're hoping to sell a good chunk during this stream, or at least spread the word about it right now. So if you're not able to grab one, maybe you know somebody that can or is willing to at this point. We still need, just a little under 200 sold. So it would be very beneficial to get some sales done. So spread the word if you can't grab one. If you can grab one, please do so using the link, and you can also enter the 5YL Cameo raffle. But without further ado, let's go take a look in Swampfire's home world, shall we?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For all the people who bought a Horus, get me a Taurus, please.
All right, here we go.
Good evening,
I reused the exact same animation. I even went into the keyframes and just took them. I gotta turn this down. Jeepers creepers.
You used to make the episodes really loud.
Yeah, my headphones were pretty bad. This might be too quiet.
Oh wait, this is the beginning of Forus.
Oh yes, this is Forus. This is it's him. We almost glossed over this. So yeah, Forus here. We'll talk about him as his adventures develop, but he becomes, I guess, I don't want to say main character, but he's the one that's really starting to get a storyline, like as an individual. And we got a lot of plans with him. In fact,
oh yes.
Yeah, you know what? Never mind. We still can't talk about that. Never mind.
What I will say is, originally, in this episode, I did plan on there being a thing with him, which is why at the end of the episode, like what happens to him.
Yeah. Hold on. This is what I wasn't going to talk about.
Okay.
What?
I was just going to say the plan has changed immensely since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, okay, there's certain aspects of it I still don't want to talk about, but I guess we could talk about the thing we're definitely not doing. We were gonna
wait, I don't remember which one we're not doing. type in Discord to me.
Okay.
I want to confirm. Hi everybody. This is the moment where we No, I wasn't gonna say anything about.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Yes.
All right, yeah. So we were gonna have. So we always planned for him to slowly start turning more intelligent and more self-aware and more of an individual. But we changed the path that we wanted to take him, which you'll see starting to develop in the end of the last episode. But originally, we were going to do it a lot earlier and have it turn into like a subtle horror thing where this Horus would turn evil. And then there'd be a whole episode where there's a bunch of plumbers having to survive this Horus and he starts killing them off one by one. And it was going to take place during the Sonorosia episode. And we were going to turn him into like a horror monster where he like gains sapience and he's like, you know, the tales of his time AI becomes self-aware and wants to kill humanity. We ended up we're doing something a little more original and a little more interesting for us for now. But yeah, originally Forrest was gonna be evil.
Yeah, he was gonna. I'm remembering designs that I with for stuff that are not gonna happen now, and just man.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm glad we didn't do it because I like what we're gonna do with him now. But it also would have been kind of dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe in another time.
Yeah, in another timeline that happens.
Today we'll be continuing our series of exploration on the pungent planet of Methanos. Please keep all appendages inside the portal at all times, and please refrain from stopping to smell the roses. I am not equipped with barf bags.
Oh, one thing about
smell like
this,
methane.
I didn't know how to get things to move in a second set of let me explain this real quick. Okay, so imagine Horus's eyes are looking left and right, right?
Okay.
They're looking left and right, and that's their motion. But they're on top of Horus, who's moving up and down. So if his eyes are moving left and right, they're moving left and right and up and down.
Oh,
and I didn't know how to get things to stick to each other. So in order to get his doors to open, I couldn't have him move. So for the first couple of episodes, whenever he's going to open his portal, he's frozen on screen. I can't have him do the hover. Because I didn't know how to get the portals to stick to him as he's hovering. Now I do. Originally I did it because I would just keep exporting videos, like I'd attach them with a green screen background and key it out. Now I just make nests. Much easier. I don't have to render shit. Alright. How's Prank doing?
He barking.
He barking.
Which is muted, my bad.
Going to Methanos. Banana!
Another dumb thing I do at the intro, when I say the something,
When you say what?
And whenever I do the intro stuff, say like it's the something planet of its system, it's always something that starts with the letter P, and I am running out of letter P for planets.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, the pungent planet, the paradise planet, the polar planet, what's the one for Sonoros? I forget. It's almost every one of them is P. I'm pretty sure they're all P letters.
They could be. They could P.
Ah, they could P.
They could P.
Methanos, one of the most toxic planets in its system.
Here we
On the
go.
surface appears to be nothing but a series of swamp and marshlands thanks to an overabundance of liquid.
Oh yeah, an
methane
early thing I used to
permeating
try to do was
the
change the
planet's
space
crust from
background
mountains
every
and
episode.
deposits.
But I
At
very
times,
quickly
it
realized I would
causing
run out of
large
colors.
gushers of fire. And thanks to it being so close to the sun of its system, this methane is constantly evaporated and mixed into the air, creating a thick, warm, and muggy atmosphere, being a whopping
52% methane.
making it
Yep.
unbreathable for most
That's
carbon-based
dangerous.
life. But that doesn't mean that life hasn't found a way.
Going on in.
The planet has a various array of sentient flora, most of which are cannibalistic. And through this cycle of vicious vegetarians, there are two in particular that have grown to be the dominant inhabitants. The first of which are the Methanosians, bipedal stock-based plant creatures standing
I
between
loved
6 and 9
all of
feet,
your
evolving from
Methanosian
various
designs in
carnivorous
this.
plants found commonly
Thank you.
around the planet.
Fantastic. This is some good
Also,
stuff.
just for me, Rob.
Yeah.
Can I get one of you saying the your boy thing?
It's my boy! Oh my god, that made me lightheaded.
Dude, I don't. You want to know what I heard? That
What?
it was about 4 seconds of silence. Oh! 3 more seconds of silence. Oi!
That made me lightheaded. I'm sorry. I just those emojis like what the fuck.
Somebody please clip that, because I didn't get to hear it. I want to. Oh
All right.
god. It's gonna be my new text tone.
I felt like myself squeezing like a sponge trying to get that out.
I love that. Thank you, Rob. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you. Of course.
Aliens come with an array of petal patterns, colors, and abilities.
Look at this one. It's like a skirt. That's freaking dope, man. This is some good stuff. You're so
As a result of growing in a
talented artist.
saturated environment, their bodies are soaked in methane and have learned to generate it. As they age, they learn how to pool the methane to various pores in their bodies and ignite it, giving them the ability to create fire. Of course.
Yeah, this could have been done better. That's a circle transition.
Flames just like stuck in his hands
Yeah.
too.
Of course, on a planet full of methane-soaked plants, fire creates many, many accidents.
I love that. I had this as a
Because they
screenshot
also
for the
come
long.
equipped with a quick form
Yeah.
of regeneration.
And accidentally spoiled this and beyond because I was doing a stream and it did the thing where the screen blinks out and shows desktop
Oh, yeah.
background.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people saw this. They're like, "Mythanos is next." I'm like, "God damn it!"
That's all good. Yeah, so quick thing about, the atmosphere being 52% methane, and people are like, wouldn't that blow up the whole planet? The way I would explain it is the other percentage, it probably counteracts it and makes it so the methane can't travel between each other and have less of a chain reaction. And that's what they breathe. And if that's toxic for humans, who gives a shit? They're plants.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Just-
it's not like,
just think of-
it's less chain reactive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It needs some kind of like actual burnable catalyst
Yeah.
instead of just itself.
Maybe it's like, like trying to use a blowtorch underwater. And burn a whole tree branch or something.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I didn't need an analogy.
But not to worry, because they also come equipped with a quick form of regeneration, so quick that they can actually reattach severed limbs.
Oh, I froze. I like that. That came out cool.
The lifespan of a common
He's a
Methanosian
cool-looking
is
guy.
about 300
Thank
Earth
you.
years, though much of its growth will take place in the first 18th of that time. When
I love
they
this
start
part
in
right
their
here.
pod form, resembling a seed
Oh,
with a long
yeah, no,
prehensile
full
stem.
more.
Dude,
As As they
I
grow and
actually
feed on
love
other
this
sources
too.
outside of their own chlorophyll,
I-
they more than double in size and mass. Their
I wish I
seeds
kept up
darken
with
and
it with
start
like
to
aged
sprout.
variants
This
of them.
is their budding form.
Season
They
2.
continue this process and quickly enter their bloomed form, becoming an additional 0.75% larger with their seed and sprouts fully bloomed and their methane pores fully opened and ignited at all times. Toward the end of their life cycles, the roots and vines that make up their bodies will start to harden and become stiff like wood. They can still move, just much slower.
I love
Okay.
this design too.
Over
The old
time,
man.
beginning to root them
This was meant to reference Ultimate, considering it's the end of their lifespan.
Ultimate
the
Swamp
bait-
Fire.
Yeah, the ultimate of the thing, like its evolution, would probably have some semblance. End of the lifespan is for a natural one,
Right.
so that's why it's all woody.
Yeah, I like the wood look to him and like the branches coming out of his back.
themselves to the ground to stay upright. Most Methanosian villages will have clusters of large dead trees acting as a barrier. It is said that these trees are the elderly that have passed away, keeping watch over the younger generations, making sure not to wander into the bog.
So they just let these dead bodies just like lay around you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, oh, did you see Grandpa when you? Yeah.
Don't forget to say goodbye to Grandpa before you go to school, and Grandpa's just like stuck in the front lawn, like,
Just
yeah. Bye, Grandpa. They kiss his forehead and his head falls off.
oh no.
Stay in school, kids.
Oh gosh. Oh, plus that was supposed to. Sorry, line that he says is they are posted around the villages to make sure children don't wander in the bog. Is meant to like be a foreshadowing. The Zolbrine, because they live in the bogs.
They do live in the bogs. That's right.
Yeah.
Good connections there, sir.
Thanks to their biological advantages, the Methanosians have no established predator and have claimed the world for their own. In
Yeah,
fact,
no
they
predator.
themselves feed on various less fortunate
You can't
flora
mess with
and
swamp
live
fire,
the same
man.
unrooted lifestyle.
You just can't.
Oh god, that one.
Instead of building homes, they will use their
Didn't script that bit at all. You just did that, and I love it so much. It's one of my favorite moments.
It just popped in my head, and I was just like, I wonder if I can pull this off. I'm so
See,
glad that we kept it.
This is why And Beyond has to have both myself and Rob. It's like the weird comboed brainchild of both of our weird way of thinking with stuff.
Yup. We keep each other balanced. I like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
pyro abilities to make clearings in the tree lines.
Circle transition.
Yep.
They
With
can
an
protect
outline.
themselves for the night so they can absorb as much direct sunlight as possible when the sun rises. They spend their days hunting, but they're not going after any old branch or leaves. The sentient flora of Methanos possess a special form of chlorophyll called xylophyll. This is what makes them sentient and differs them from any other trees or weeds in their biome. However, most of these species
So this is
are
like an
not
X-ray
intelligent
thing of
like
them, seeing the xylophyll in them,
being
right?
more associated with wild
Correct.
animals.
Gotcha.
Methanosians go after sentient flora because the more xylophyll they consume, the faster they grow. And despite the smell, it's
And there's the
apparently
Zolbrine.
delicious.
One in
To
the
them,
back
the only
right
thing
there.
tastier than a roasted vine per peregrine is a local delicacy they call the xyle fruit. A large round fruit filled to the brim with xylophyll. They are extremely hard to find, but when found, are no trouble to acquire because there is nothing to hunt. They appear randomly, and most Methanosians never question it. They're so happy when they find a fruit, most consume it in one bite. As for the origin of the fruit, we'll have to visit the home of the only other intelligent species
Oh, this was
on
such a
Methanos,
cool shot.
the Zolbogs.
Like, I still really like how that turned, with him peeking behind and everything.
Right, yeah. It looks nice, man.
I love it.
I love all the different variants you did of them too, because the way I designed
Well,
him was, you know, admittedly it was pretty humanoid, and like I like how you really like stretched him around and made that really like round, like big-headed looking one. That one
Welcome
was
to
awesome.
the Zolbogs, home of the Zolbrine.
You came up with the name Zolbrine too. I just called him Acid
Yes.
Grime.
Evolved form of
So,
cons-
Zol, from what I remember, is like the Dutch word for leaf. And brine being in the fact of they live in boiling water, so they're like brined. I get like Zolbrine is
Right. Yeah, you know, I will say when I originally thought of him, so quick lore history if for those that might not know. This character here was based off of Ben 10 alien I made Acid Grime like 10-15 years ago. And he out of all the aliens I've made up, You know, despite my reputation as a big Ben 10 fan, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not that great at making aliens, or at least just I never did it a lot. I still don't do it a lot. Like, it's one of the biggest things about being a Ben 10 fan is making your own alien. It's like one of the things I personally just don't have ambition for. So a lot of the ones when I tried weren't great, and this is the only one I actually liked. So I still talk about him and kept him around. But when I envisioned him, he was like this really scrawny, like humanoid wood dude who would just have a coating, like Kevin absorbing metal, of slime that he's constantly secreting. That would be pretty dense. It can like catch a bullet or something and just get stuck, or like somebody can burn it and it turn to crust and he could just crack it off and have a new layer. But your lore addition to it, to have him be this thing underneath, I don't remember who designed it first. I think you designed it.
I believe I did.
Yeah.
Because there was like something specific I was referencing with how it looked, and I can't remember what it was.
Well,
it's like some kind of like mushroom or something is what his body is supposed to look.
See, I didn't even know that.
Remember.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, you definitely designed his inner form.
Yeah.
And I like this a lot more, where it's like the humanoid form comes from him molding his slime that way, rather than it just being a thin coating of slime. I like this a lot, so, you know, thank you for improving my alien.
Thank you for giving me an alien to work with. Like, honestly, why I wanted to include him in was just like, I thought he was cool looking, and like, oh, what if the slime is like moss or some kind of plant-like sludge?
Right.
And that's I thought it was cool.
Also, happy birthday, Rico. There's a birthday going on right now. Happy birthday, Rico.
Toast to you, Rico.
Some varying in size, the Zolbrine are made up of a series of porous organs that generate methanol algae. The bulbous organs located throughout their body are the powerhouse of their algae generation. Without them, the Zolbrine are hopelessly stuck in their bogs due to their water dependency. They use the algae to create host bodies that they can manipulate into different forms.
See, that's freaking crazy, man. I love
it. That transition too.
For hours, giving
I
them ample time
love
out
it so
of water
much.
to find prey, because like the Methanosians, the Zolbrines are hunters, bringing any and all prey they find back to their boiling bog.
And the shape shifting of the slime too. That's a power I didn't even really consider. But if they're able to manipulate their bodies in order to create a shape for them, of course they'd be able to extend it a little bit and make a bowl. That's perfect, man. Love it. I don't even think that's on the wiki.
I don't think so.
So, no food, no algae. Their fear of starvation has even pushed them to hunting bigger game. There have been multiple recorded events of Zolbrine capturing young Methanosians and holding them captive for months at a time, using their regenerative abilities as a solid source of nutrients for the bug.
So, real quick. Real quick. Something that was going to be in this episode that I cut out because back then we were afraid of the censors of marking it like too much rather than us getting marked for children and not being enough.
Now we're worried about the opposite.
Yeah, so in this episode when he's saying this, instead of having Horus on screen, it was gonna have like a Methanosian tied to a tree and a Zolbrine like cutting its leg off and eating it. And I was like, that seems like it's a bit far.
Would you do that now?
Would I? Yeah, 100% now.
Okay.
Because like there's little things in each episode I would definitely add in now, just to still protect from those censors.
When we get to the Krypton one, there's one about the dogs that I want to talk about. That I don't.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Do you remember?
I do remember. That's
That's along the same line. That's probably the darkest thing we ever would have done if we did that.
Oh god.
All things considered, that's one I still probably. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot.
Taste.
It's a lot.
Yeah, some fall out of taste, out of the comedic sense of it.
Yeah.
Like
it would be hard to be funny.
I feel the biggest pushing one is probably the Aeropella.
The Aeropella one?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just I mean, yeah.
I made it very chunky and bloody.
They also have an array of abilities. As stated before, they can manipulate their host bodies at will, stretching and squashing as well as.
Oh, that might be on the wiki then. I guess I forgot that he could do this.
They're also able to remove the bulbous organs from their bodies and use them as a natural bomb. When removed, the thick, sticky membrane of the organ can adhere and merge into objects.
Now, this was the only thing that I actually came up with for the species in terms of its ability and lore. Because that was the whole point of him. I love it. And in fact, I had such a hard time trying to explain to people how his powers worked. I'm so glad that, like, in my perspective, after all these years to create this visual, that it's not just a bomb that blows up. It, like, absorbs into something and merges with it, then blows it up. You know?
I remember that was a very specified thing.
I was like, you have to do that. Yeah. After that, I didn't care what you did with it.
The Zolbrine must be careful, though. The less organs they have, the less algae they can generate, resulting in less time for their host. A situation like this is deadly for a Zolbrine, so many know not to use this ability unless absolutely necessary. In most cases, when groups go out to hunt, if one of them is falling behind because their host is deteriorating,
leave them.
They will leave them behind, so that the rest aren't slowed down.
That's nature, baby.
I would have had him like continuing to move too if I could now. He's moving now.
Resulting in death in a matter of minutes.
Oh, and that this is impressive for me.
When dehydrated,
look at that.
The algae organ will shrivel and
it's still going too.
Thicken into a dark red skin as a result of the raw zalfil being exposed to the air. The Zolbrine's body will have withered away about an hour after dehydration. Unfortunate for him, but very fortunate for a wandering hungry Methanosian. And thus is the origin of the Zal fruit.
God, why they give him like fibrous teeth? I hate it so
vegetarians indeed. You could say they both got their just desserts.
Oh my god, we did that this early?
A tough world to live
that was the first instance of it, yeah.
We were just visiting. Make sure to plunge back into the void sometime and join me on another.
Oh, this was very tricky to figure out for me as well. And if you look, he passes by Terradino too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is him unlocking sentience, and he's like, murder? To be continued. That was us signifying like we're gonna do something with it.
It's like we.
Oh yeah.
The first episode we were like, we don't know. Now.
Yep. Don't forget to read 5YL, folks.
Now there was a thing. If you could take it back to right before his outro. I'm trying to remember what the thing was. I was about to say something. It was like back before he even says like, "This is Horace signing out."
Even before, like here.
Oh God, what was it? I was about to say it, and wait, no. Oh, okay. So this instance being the first one, applause laughter thing. This is Forrest, and the applause laughter thing in the we do it in almost every single section in the Zanelli, which is Forrest as the main host in that one too. But it's kind of like, I don't think we've done that thing with other ones yet. I think we've only. I'm probably wrong, but like, I want to say we've done it with Forrest.
Yeah, I think we did it one time without. I think we did it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll be watching all of them.
That's fair.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good point.
So, this episode came out like pretty much right after the Terradino. So, while there is some improvement, it was still pretty new at the time. There wasn't much time to improve it. So, I wouldn't say it was a huge improvement, but it was nice getting another episode in. I think it was interesting. I think we did a good job with it. You, especially with all the artwork that you're doing. I don't think I did I started doing artwork for this actually until the Ghost Zone one, which is this one. The first two was all you, and then the second one's. Did I do artwork for this? I don't think I did actually. Oh no, I did it for the history of like what's going on plot wise. Like you see Vlad get infected.
That was
yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I wanted a lot of clarification in that episode and make sure the information was correct.
Yeah.
Because like Ben 10 I knew really well. Danny Phantom I do know fairly well, but I knew you had your own way that ecto energy worked.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure it was correct. So you had more influence in the script. Yes.
Right. And I also felt like this was right around the time when we officially realized like our fan base for Ben 10 is significantly larger comparatively to the people that have seen Danny Phantom in our fan base. Originally, I thought it'd be the opposite. So this episode also would have acted like as a nice information source for people who might not know anything about Danny Phantom. So they could watch this as like supplementary material for understanding the comic more. I still try to write the comic where like you only need 100% just the comic to read it. You don't have to watch everything. Yeah. It's encouraging you to. Like if you like the comic, definitely watch the shows, but I didn't want to write it in a way where you would be lost. So I wouldn't say you even need to watch this to get it, but it's definitely helpful and it probably answers a lot of questions you would have had. But yeah,
this is just more expansions if you want to seek out the information in a quicker to digest way.
And that's where my involvement came in, because I was just like, well, people are probably going to look to this, and in the canon of 5YL, this is going to be their understanding. So might as well make sure that we cover everything, which is why we follow certain characters like Vlad and Danny, which is contrary to And Beyond, where it's usually just the species and no one person specifically. But yeah, it looks like we have sold another keychain or two in the episode, so we're making progress. But once again, folks, please see if you know anybody who could buy a keychain, or if you're able to get one yourself. We have to sell 500 in order for these to get made, and we have 10 days. There is international shipping. I know some folks were worried about that. And it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If these don't get made, they're never going to exist, and we're not going to do it again. How many Taurus keychains got sold? So you can see that in the link down below. I'll post it in the chat, and I'll tell you anyways. We've sold 322 so far out of 500. We need to sell 500. Even if we sell 499, if we don't sell 500, they won't get made. You will be refunded, so it's no risk to you. If you buy one, you're either going to get a keychain or you're going to get refunded. There's no version of this where you buy one and you get nothing. You're always going to get something. And you're also going to be entered, if you follow the pinned rules, enter into the 5YL raffle. You have to buy a keychain, and you can be a background character, or your OC can be a background character in the third episode of 5YL the Motion Comic coming next week. In fact, episode 3, the one where the cameos will actually be, is released in 7 days, next Friday. Whereas episode 1 releases in 2 days or 3 days, however long you look at it. It's Monday. Monday at 7 p.m. EST. Will you make an Omniverse breakdown with Ash? Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, we got to get on that. But right now, if you're paying attention to our schedule, which is linked down below in the description and in our community tab, we do have a break lined up here. I set aside 15 minutes for it. Honestly, I don't think I'll need all 15. I'm just going to go run to the bathroom, grab a drink. I'll probably be back quickly. I will still put up the waiting graphic, but I'll come back ASAP. We're still going to wait until 3:30 for the Ghost Zone commentary, but pretty much when I come back, we could turn this into a Q&A for a little bit. But we are going to take a little small break. Ash, if you want the full 15 minutes, by all means, do what you got to do. But we will return shortly. But I hope you've all been enjoying the stream so far. Thank you for tuning in. This stream will be on the channel for rewatchability. Don't tune out quite yet. We still got a lot to go over, and part 2 tomorrow. But until then, we will BRB.
BRB.
Howdy, folks. I return. Kuro the artist here. Throat's still recovering from talking a lot, I guess. I haven't really been doing much. We need a shirt of Kurogo and my boy on it. That could be arranged. That could be arranged. We typically only update our shop with like major project releases, but I am a fan of just putting some fun designs out there. I have a couple in my head already that I think would be pretty fun to have on a shirt. But I hope you're all enjoying the stream so far. Looks like Ash is still out in the multiverse somewhere. But, you know, I'm here. Mochi's here. She's chilling. We got Taurus in the back. We got Horus up front. You know, I don't need anybody else to host the stream with me. I got all I need right here. I do miss Ash though. But yeah, it looks like we've been having a good time so far. We've been through the first 2 episodes of And Beyond along with the pilot. We still got 3 more to get through. Still trying to push for those Taurus keychain sales. It should also be worth noting that the keychains fund our projects as well. Most of the profits, I believe, go to Makeshift. If not most, I think a significant amount. But we do get like payments from this as well. In fact, the first Makeshift campaign we did with Horus when we sold 522, that was our starting budget for the motion comic. And as you might know, we still have future episodes to make, so these Tauruses guaranteed being made also helps us fund the next batch of episodes, as everything costs money. Everyone we work with we have to pay, or we have to pay ourselves to dedicate much time to doing this instead of other things that take up time, like commissions, for example, or other client work. If we have the resources we need, we can make this content straight head on and you know, get things out faster, to put it simple. So Taurus keychain sells also guarantees the future of And Beyond, 5-whale motion comic, breakdowns, freeze frames, everything you're looking forward to in terms of ink tank content. And it would also just be really cool to have him, you know? He's dope. Also, shout outs to both Paxton and Crystal, who have been here for a bit. Paxton's, of course, the voice of Ben Tennyson. You'll be hearing him starting in tomorrow's batch of episodes in the Inner episode. Yeah, really good stuff. I have nothing but great things to say about working with Paxton. We've worked with him a lot now, but a big chunk of what we've recorded for the motion comic I'm finally releasing. And Crystal also does a lot of the visual effects for us in the later episodes of And Beyond as well, along with the motion comic. So it's really nice having them involved in the project. They keep this going. But yeah, we can do a little bit of Q&A for the next half hour. How about that? So Kuro, I am curious why Ben 10 and Danny Phantom. That's the whole point of it, to be honest. I mean, to put it simple, they were both shows that I felt had a lot more stories to tell. That, in terms of their episode release and the respect they were getting from their networks, didn't really get like that great of an ending. They kind of fizzled out, and not intentionally either. The famous story of Omniverse's final 30 episodes, the final 30 whole episodes, 3 seasons, all got burned at day after day, 5 new episodes a week at 6 a.m. with no advertising, so nobody watched them. Nobody even knew that it was happening. To most people, Omniverse ended at season 5, and that was that. That's crazy, right? 3 whole seasons, no advertising. It took years for people to see him. It's nuts. And Danny Phantom, season 3 aired out of order, and then, you know, because of the production methods that season 3 had compared to the first 2 seasons, it also didn't end great as well. And I was like, you know what? I feel like they're deserving of another chance. A lot of things are getting rebooted lately. Perhaps if I can create something to bring a lot of attention to them, maybe it could strengthen their chance of something happening. And I figured 5YL made the most sense to me. I get to express a lot of my artistic skills and love for creating content. And also, if it takes off, then people would probably go back to the source material, and it seems to be very successful in that regard. So many people have told me they reignited their love for the shows because of 5YL and the YouTube channel. So I feel like it's doing what it should be doing. So it's nice to have that the validity, I guess, to put it simply. Is there potential to produce an actual Ambion episode of Private Toast as like a season finale? I will say anything's possible. There's nothing we've said we're 100% not doing, except for planets that already have a lot of lore dedicated to it. Like doing an Ambion episode of Galvin, like on Galvin Mark 1 or Koros, just seems pretty redundant. Like, we know a lot about it. We've been to it enough already in the show. But everything else, you know, is fair game. Have I ever thought about making an alternate version of And Beyond episode? Oh, on Atrocian's homeworld. Like, the worst? I mean, like I said, it's all up in the air. And Beyond Earth, even. In fact, we've joked about that a few times. We think we could... The ideal was we make an And Beyond episode about Earth, and we would use that sort of like what we did with this Ghost Zone episode or Ledger Domain or something to catch people up a lot with like the plot, like what's happened in the 5 years between the end of Omniverse and 5YL, and we would meet a whole bunch of supporting characters that never got to make it into the motion comic or the comic itself. Like Gwen's brother is someone who I would have loved to have showed up, but the more we thought about it, the more it seemed like we were deviating way too far from like what And Beyond is. And I felt like that's sort of what we also did with Ledger Domain, but it still made sense because Horus was the focus. Whereas with that, it would kind of just be something totally different. If we were going to do it, maybe it shouldn't even be an And Beyond. I don't know. But we put a lot of thought into it. It's just a matter of, are we going to do it or not? Who knows? But it'd be neat. Can you say hi to my dog Sawyer? Hi, Sawyer. How's it going, Sawyer? Will multiverse alternate Bens and Dannys be in 5YL? You've already seen quite a handful. There's alternate Dannys in chapter 9? 9 or 10, one of those. And, you know, the alternate Bens make up the Technus army. So you can see those. Can I do a flip? I cannot do a flip. Sounds wild. Will I do every episode of Ben 10 in 10 words or less again? I don't know. I mean, the first one I did because it came to me easily. Like, the ideas and stuff. This time, not so much. It would kind of just be doing it out of the obligation that I did it the first time. I might as well do it again. Whereas, like, the first one, like, I genuinely had a lot of ideas, and the video was born from that. This, it would be... The goal to make the video comes first, and then the passion and ideas, and it's hard for me to work like that, you know? So if some jokes and stuff start coming to me easily, sure. But if I force it, it wouldn't be great. After 5YL, would I make more comics? And what about what happened before 5YL? That would be kind of spoilery to talk about. Here's a simple question. How are you doing today? Thanks, Starkey. I'm doing pretty well. I feel like the stream, you know, it's entertaining. I think people are having a good time. It was a little rough in some areas with technicalities, but you know, that's just how we do it in the tank lands. You know, we have tech issues. We work through it. But I'm having a good time. Looks like Mochi's chilling. She's having a good time. Do I still take commissions? Sporadically. Right now I'm not because there's too much going on, but I think about opening them again very frequently. Yeah, we're surviving. That's right, Crystal. We are surviving. Surviving day to day. Have I ever played Skylanders? I have not played Skylanders. I haven't played a lot of things before. I like Tetris. Tetris is great. Will I review the Tummy Trouble breakdown with Ash? If schedules line up, it's hard to dictate what would be a full breakdown or not. I will say, for the lucky folks that are tuning in right now, as a reward for sticking around during this middle part of the Q&A section, I am doing Outbreak with Kellen, coming pretty much after Gone Fishing. Whether Gone Fishing gets a quick review or a full breakdown, it all depends on the schedule. I cannot stress that enough. It all comes down to, do I have time? The episode content itself does not matter. I only made the exception because Kellen really likes Outbreak. We're doing Outbreak as a full breakdown. Gone Fishing might be a full breakdown first, or it might be a quick review. I will know when it's time to make it, pretty much. I'll be like, what do I have time for? That's gonna be fun. So, what time is it for me right now? It's 3:11. I live in the EST time zone. So that's where I'm at right now. That's why a lot of the graphics I make is geared towards that. I have every Omniverse DVD. That's wonderful. Lots of good Omniverse DVDs out there. Not the whole series though, but enough. Unless you get the bootleg ones. I think they released up to Galactic. I don't know if Galactic Monsters got released on DVD, or they just made art for it. I know they made a lot of like prototype merchandise for the Galactic Monsters arc that like didn't get made, like Ben 10,000. They made a Ben 10,000 action figure concept and it never got put into production. That's a shame. Joseph from the UK, what's up? How you doing today? I'm doing pretty well. Will I ever do a breakdown with Hershey and Fro? That's trickier because sometimes it could be harder to get in a call with them. And also, well, it would be different. So the breakdowns, I feel like, come from my perspective of knowing the show very intricately. And I don't think they know the shows as well as I do. But that could be the entertainment value of it, if you think about it. Trying to explain lore and stuff to it. In fact, it'd be fun to do a breakdown with somebody who's never seen the show, period. What's up, bro?
Oh.
I can see you.
Hello.
Hello.
Working?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up, man? I can hear you.
Okay, I'm just making sure that it's working because all the stupid stuff that was happening earlier.
Oh, yeah. No, we're just rolling through Q&A. We still got time for Q&A until 3:30. Which for me is in 28 minutes.
Same here.
Yeah.
Well, 2:30.
2:30.
I have ramen now.
Ooh, delicious. I ate before the stream.
I didn't. I'm sorry.
That's all good, man. You enjoy that ramen. What flavor?
Thank you. It's actually 1 packet of beef and 1 packet
chicken.
Green chili.
Green chili.
And beef.
Oh hell yeah! Mixing it up, man. That's how to do it.
And then a strawberry fresca, cold from the fridge.
I still got Big Y's Ruby Red Grapefruit Seltzer.
Ooh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Taking another quick moment just to shout out the keychains. Por favor, if y'all are able to get one, there is international shipping, and the link is down below. We're at 323, my lucky number. What is my take on different aliens affecting Ben's personality? I think if it's done too much, it makes it feel less like Ben. Like, I think it's interesting because of the rarity, like Wrath, Ditto. Those are the two I always think of that do it. Spider-Monkey makes him a little bit... Oh yeah, Jury Rig, absolutely. So, some of them like bring out different like levels of confidence in him. Or like Gray Matter in a way, because he does think more intellectually. But I don't know, I feel like if it's done too much, then it doesn't feel like Ben, and the whole appeal is like every one of those is Ben. Like every alien. So like Wrath, he's great, but if they were all that drastic, then... You know,
might as well just be a different character.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Brainstorm also. Yeah, Brainstorm too. He like speaks in monologue.
Indubitably.
Yeah. Who would you say is the most underrated alien?
Jury Rig. I'm kidding.
Really? We're doing this here? You want to fight today, Ryan? Is that what we're doing?
I will say, I think people dog on him a bit too much, but I see him in a different light. It's not just because he's goofy little man. Like, I do think he is, and I do like him a lot.
No, I mean, I've heard a lot of strong arguments for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, he's a speedster.
Yeah, in a way, he really is. Super fast. You cut out if you said anything.
I didn't.
Oh, okay. I was just expecting it. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, Jury Rig is pretty underrated in that regard. I would say Crash Hopper? I feel like I really vibe with Crash Hopper.
He is really dope.
He's kind of like, yeah, a ninja in a way.
He is the Accelerate of the Omni. Sorry, he's the Accelerate of the Omniverse. Is the thing keep cutting out again still? Come on.
I understood. He is the Accelerate of the Omniverse playlist?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Accelerate's got like a big fan base. Whereas Crash Hopper, I feel like he gets overlooked.
Yeah, true.
I like him. Yeah. Ben Wolf is underrated. I can see that. Yeah, he's... Like, I guess I feel the same way about Ben Wolf in this specific regards as I do about Jerry Rig, where, like, I can see he's definitely underrated, but I just don't really care about him enough to answer that myself and say, yeah, Ben Wolf. But yeah, I mean, he's pretty cool. Not really talked about. Pretty underrated.
I wish he could have been utilized pretty well before the introduction of like Echo because of the whole sound powers thing. But like once Echo came in, like Ben Wolf and even Ditto,
what's
their
one
powers
scene,
are covered.
It would probably have to be at like season 4 confidently, but at least after Ben Wolf in the classic series, that you would swap out that alien for Ben Wolf to give him one more use.
Oh, I'm trying to think.
My first thought is when Cannibal's breaking down Azimuth's store in Secret of the Omnitrix, but I feel like you feel the intensity more with him banging on the door with every hit. Whereas with Ben Wolf, I think it'd be cool, but you wouldn't get like the emotional like struggle with him, like punch after punch trying to get that door open until he finally breaks it through. Maybe
Ooh, what about this? Which my brain always messes up the order of episodes sometimes. So if not, sorry. Ben 10,000. What if instead of Spitter pushing Animo back, it was Ben Wolf? It is just a one-off thing anyway.
I don't know if I'd sacrifice Spitter.
What are you really sacrificing though? 2 seconds of like I'm just saying, like, that seems like it could be a decent sub.
It could, yeah. Alright. I can see that. Yeah, man. It's hard to think about it, because there's really not that much room for Ben Wolf. I kind of get why they didn't use him.
Yeah.
It'd have to be something that doesn't matter. Like, the opening scene in Ben 10 versus the Negative 10, where he's fighting the 2 criminals in the helicopter as Stingfly. Just make that Ben Wolf, like, in that way, you know. I mean, that scene could have been anybody. It didn't matter. So make it Ben Wolf. We got
like
enough Stingfly.
Clawing his way up the building.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, like, you know, the helicopter does some maneuver, so he like faces the building and blasts it to like propel himself onto the helicopter.
Oh, like he did over the chasm. That would actually.
Yeah, and then he grabs both of the guys, jumps out of the helicopter, and like propels himself to the ground. Yep. Yeah, Ben Wolf. There you go.
He's got that dog in him.
Yeah, you got that dog in him.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Yep.
What do I use for art? I use Media Bang Paint. It is a free program. Works pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard good things about Media Bang. Woof woof.
Woof.
A lot of these questions are just flying by pretty quickly. I can't even focus on them. My eyes ain't what they used to be.
When did I stop watching Ben 10 on TV? It was definitely during Ultimate Alien, because at that point, in like how old I was, I got a job and would be working on Friday nights and would miss the premieres of the episodes. And I never saw Omniverse on TV, I think. I remember when I watched Omniverse for the first time, I'm like 90% sure it was through...
Through what?
Through Hulu, sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I stopped watching Ben 10 on TV during Alien Force Season 3. I just lost cable, so I started watching them. I would, like, take my headphones and go down to the library and, like, sign out one of their computers for a half hour and watch it online.
Oh, dang.
I did that. Yeah, all the way up to Omniverse.
See, I still kind of like in a weird way, the inaccessibility of TV back then sometimes made for, like, cool little experiences. Like, the first time I saw the Alien Force, like the first episode, I was at a skating rink that I used to work at, and I was stuck there and couldn't get home in time for the premiere. The owner let me use his back office that had a TV in it to watch the premiere, like, by myself with no interruptions. And I got to do that while eating free pizza in the back of the skating rink.
The royal treatment.
And it was Alien Force premiere, so it was really good.
Yeah, I watched it at home. It premiered a day after my birthday, so for like my birthday party, which was just my cousin and my friend coming over, we watched it on my bedroom TV, and it was like a decent size. It was like this big of a screen, so we were all just kind of hunched up to it, like, yeah.
Wait, you said it was you, your cousin, and your friend?
Yeah.
It was Ben, Gwen, and Kevin?
Hey, but they weren't nearly into it as much. I think they were just watching it for my benefit. I don't think they really cared about the show. But it was dope.
They're like, can we put it on Lizzie McGuire?
Yeah. Will we get more wiki stills of Fro's Photoshop aliens? Maybe. That is pretty fun.
Those are pretty.
Yeah. I like doing Itsy Glicky. That was pretty dope. Will Ambion cover alternate universes? Yeah, I mean, it covered the Ghost Zone.
Yeah.
And technically, Krypton and Vegeta are an alternate universe of their source, like, Prime versions.
That's good.
But it is the same universe in here, if that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, I can see it happening. What's my favorite flying alien? I don't know. A lot of them fly.
I mean,
that's hard to say.
That
Humongousaur on a surfboard, hoverboard.
No, a surfboard.
Yeah, a surfboard. He throws the surfboard into the air and then jumps on it. And it keeps going.
Hard.
Yeah.
Alien that honestly for me probably Stinkfly. Just because I like classic Stinkfly a lot.
Yeah, I liked Stinkfly a lot later on. When I first was watching, like when I was like 9, I didn't really care for Stinkfly.
See, that's the thing. When you say flying alien, it's an alien that so happens to fly that we like, or is it like we like it because it's a flying alien?
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why it's hard.
If I were to pick one that's like just so happens to fly, but I really like, Chromostone.
Brainstorm.
You say Brainstorm?
Brainstorm can fly.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Lodestar can fly.
It's hovering with style.
Yeah, Heat Blast can fly. It's tricky.
Much all at one point it just becomes one of those like he's like super strength for some aliens.
Yep. Yeah, Brainstorm flies. Well, Brainstorm floats twice, and then you can see Dr. Psychobos full on flying around. So, you know, properties transfer. Brainstorm can fly.
Someone says every UA alien can fly. Jury Rig, Armadillo,
Chameleon, Eagle, Humongousaur.
We already talked about Humongousaur. He flies.
Yeah, on the surfboard. Humongousaur can fly on the surfboard. I forgot. Yep. Wrath. Armadillo. Oh yeah, you said Armadillo.
He's
Diamond
like,
Head can
look,
sort of
fly.
fly.
Digs into the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, Andreas.
Yup. Swampfire can propel himself into the sky, but that's not really flying. Like, the second he stops, it's over. It's done.
Can Clockwork fly? Only when he's having fun.
Yeah. That's almost what I put in his 5-way L icon. Under his powers, it was time powers. : flies when having fun. I forgot what I actually put.
Something about TikTok or something.
He ticks when he talks.
If you throw gray matter hard enough, flies.
Yeah. What did I?
Oh god, mustache can fly. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, pesky dust can fly. Gravitat can fly.
Depending on how hard you kick Waka Trout, he could.
I'm trying to look up what I put for Clockwork's freaking thing. You're telling me I have to remember the shit that I write?
Yeah.
What is this? Time control. Oh, alarming power. That's pretty good. I felt like flies while having fun would be lost in translation for like the international fans, because I didn't know how well known that phrase is, and like
that's fair.
A fair amount of people read Fly Well don't speak English as their primary language, so I don't let that dictate my writing, but it's a factor. Like sometimes I'll just feel like this is too much, such as that, and I felt like trying to explain somebody's power to something probably shouldn't be like an English slang.
Unless it has some kind of like equivalent to their language, I agree with
if
that.
They read it and it's like flies when having fun. How the fuck does that work? It's like, I don't know, man. I'm sorry. But yeah, quick shout out for the Taurus keychains again. We're currently, I'm refreshing, 324. Hey, we're up another bupper. Thank you, folks. Really
Upper?
appreciate.
Is that his term now?
Yeah, we're upper bupper up in here.
Ash already asked, bro, can you do I can do 2 at the same time with
Dos manzanas?
Huh?
I'm just saying 2 apples. It's a long story. I couldn't stop myself from saying it. Alright, well, you think it's time to jump into the ghost zone?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir, let's do it.
I believe so. Let's go ghost again.
Let's go ghost again.
It just sounded like someone put a blender.
He's a blender.
Danny blender. The whole rest of the theme is just...
Yep.
Alright, here we go.
Alright, here we go. We're going ghost.
Beware the ghost.
Still using the same animation.
Travelers, welcome back to And Beyond, where we plunge into the void and explore our ever-expanding
With this
multiverse.
one.
I am your host.
The cut for the intro audio,
Yeah.
because I kept saying it too quickly, you used a previous one and then just spliced in the second half.
Oh my god. Yes, I did.
It's so noticeable. It's
where is it?
Good evening, extranet and multidimensional travelers. Welcome back to And Beyond, where we plunge.
Yeah, you can hear it. I remember that. I was like, I hope nobody notices.
Oh.
I forgot, so.
To the void and explore our ever-expanding multiverse. I am your host, the R300, Orion IT Systems Model V.
I mix and match people's takes all the time. Like, not just with you, but even editing the motion comic.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll, like, stop someone's word, like, halfway through a syllable and link it. I've gotten much better at making sure I only do it if it's not noticeable, though.
Understandable.
Yeah. But, you know, you can get away with a lot as long as the end result is good.
05. But you can call me Horace.
Right now, we're still going up just one number at a time.
Normally, we explore various aspects of our own dimension, Una 0001.
It's a Nua.
How did I say it?
Una.
Well,
Dimension Una 0001, but
that's alright. Horace has an accent.
That one does.
Yeah.
today we'll be
this
breaking
one.
dimensional bounds and exploring the ethereal anomaly known as the Ghost Zone. Please keep
He's
all
there.
appendages inside the portal at all times, and please refrain from using any unauthorized recording equipment. That's against the rules.
So that's a reference to Walker of Danny Phantom, who is a stickler for the rules.
Which Horace should not know that joke. It makes funny sense.
Ba-da-da! Oh yeah, and see, you can see they're in the freaking ghost zone now, instead of space. Look at that. Look at that. Wow, isn't that neat? Look at that.
Welcome to the Ghost Zone.
I like how there's
there's
a hand right here. So there's a lot going on. Like, because it's the ghost zone, I tried to keep it very like eventful, so you'll see portals randomly opening and closing. You'll see ghosts fly by. I still feel like I'm drowning in audio, though. Like, I didn't have the ears that I do now for it.
With it being like too loud and too muddled.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I think honestly, I think a lot of it comes down to the bass. Like, maybe even the levels are okay, but there's just so much. There's ambiance. There's like, in ambient, I use a lot of like drones. Like,
I think once you started doing the puppeted Horus, where each of his movements has like I feel like you got better whenever puppeting him, because balancing the audio, you have to his sound effects as well.
Right. Yeah, so it's tricky also because I still struggle with this part to this day, where sometimes I'm editing with headphones and sometimes I'm editing with speakers, and it really just depends on the time of day and what I have going on with my editing. So it sounds different a lot, so it's hard to edit for like a consistency.
An anomalous pocket dimension latched to the...
So if you're ever watching one of my videos and sometimes it's super loud for like 5 or 6 minutes, I'm sorry. I really am.
The Earth variant 04-930
We got some
and Dimension
ghosts.
Fantamo 43. Throughout all the infinite universes and alternate timelines that complement them...
Oh, so another quick note. I'll try not to pause too much in the beginning. This is Danny's universe, and Ben Prime's universe, because he's Ben Prime, is 0001. I thought it would have been too coincidental if, like, every version of the character that we know, like, you know, Rex, Danny, Zack Saturday, if they were always the Prime versions of themselves, that would be too coincidental. So Danny, despite being, like, the Danny we know being the main character of 5YL, he's not Danny Prime. He is not the Prime version of his alternate cell capacity. Ben is his Prime self, but Danny is not. The Prime Danny's not a ghost, even. He's just an astronaut. So yeah, Danny is just from some random segment of Danny Prime's multiverse.
With its only bounds being the limits of the dimension itself, the Ghost Zone both does and does not exist at every time.
Alright, y'all ready for some confusing shit? Here we go.
Does and does not exist at every feasible and non-feasible point in time. Meaning, no matter where or when you are in the Ghost Zone, you are everywhere and every when, because it all exists at once. Well, not existing. This may seem confusing, and that's because it is. Stuck between multiple planes of existence, all with vastly different laws of physics and time that may or may not contradict each other, it seems to have no laws of its own. Just a giant melting pot of metaphysical energy.
Oh,
like
good.
every other
See,
dimension, Fontano houses
the
various
early Horus
universes,
voice
but
too.
04-930
It overemphasized some the melting pot of energy. Like it just, his voice was definitely the first couple.
Yeah, it's better than the first 2 episodes though. Here I am noticing an improvement.
Fair.
In particular, is the anchor point holding the Ghost Zone in a limbo of existence.
Yeah, and there's
This
only
Earth
one
variant
Ghost
is the only
Zone
known
too.
point in all of its dimension that has natural occurring portals giving access to the Ghost Zone. It has been noted that attempts to create entrances outside of 04-930 have resulted in multiple failures.
That's
Even
right.
the greatest minds and most powerful beings.
Okay, so people are always asking who these folks are. Let's just get it out of the way, you know? Let's
The
just
comments.
confirm.
The comments for this video. This is all the comment section is being. I think this is this one, and this is. To clarify, starting from the left going to the right, Dr. Membrane, Azimuth, Caesar, Jimmy
say where they're
Neutron.
from too. Sorry.
Okay. Dr. Membrane from Invaders, Azimuth from Ben 10, Caesar from Generator Rex, Jimmy Neutron from the titular Jimmy Neutron, Saitama from One Punch Man, Trigon from Teen Titans, and Beerus from Dragon Ball Z.
There you go, folks. So this is to say that no matter how smart you are or no matter how powerful you are, you can't enter the Ghost Zone unless you're in Danny's dimension.
Which means you are automatically weaker than the Box Ghost.
Right. Yeah.
Are incapable of entry from outside this individual universe. There is no solid proof as to how or why this realm exists, or the reasoning why this particular
don't
Earth
question it.
acts as its anchor. However,
It's just
researchers
how it
have
is.
come up with the theory that during this dimension's Big Bang, when its various universes were forming, 2 of those
I did
universes
think this was
attempted
fun
to
though.
occupy the same space
Like
at
the
same
theory
time, forcing a
connecting
metaphysical
back to
bond
like
between
Ben
the two,
10
making
logic
them flip
science,
sides of the
Yep.
same
the Quantumalia.
You can even see their ship back here.
Yep.
coin. The fight for physical existence went to the Earth, but because its immense amount of metaphysical energy built up in the Ghost Zone and
So 2 universes tried to be created
it kept building up
at
and
the same
expanding,
time,
over time creating the endless
and
void we see
the
today.
universe pushed the Ghost Zone into a state of non-existence, but it didn't destroy it, and it's a glitch. It's like, if any, like, programming terms, the ghost zone is a glitch and nobody can figure out how to get out of it. You can study the code all day long. It's just there. It doesn't care about your rules.
Of this realm has baffled
And you can't get rid of
minds
it.
of the multiverse and driven most who tried to comprehend it to insanity. And that's where we meet the man insane enough to crack the code, Dr. Jack Stephen Fenton, a world-renowned scientist, inventor, and first man to prove the ghost zone exists.
That picture was taken on my birthday in 1984.
That allows the mortals to enter the spiritual realm in a less permanent way.
Was that intentional?
You drew it. I don't know.
I don't know.
You
got me.
The ghost zone have naturally and randomly
Oh yeah, I
occurred
drew
throughout
this.
The universe's history, but it was the work of Dr. Fenton that gave us the knowledge and resources we have today. Dr. Fenton began his studies at the University of Wisconsin-Madison in 1984 with fellow lab assistant Vladimir Silver Masters and future wife Madison Holly Payne, later married as Maddie Fenton.
That's right. So, just quick name cameos. Payne being her maiden name, and Holly Payne as a reference to the creator of the Ghost Again hashtag. Silver from Steven Silver, the character designer for Danny Phantom. That's also where Jack's middle name comes from. Jack Stephen Fenton Vladimir Silver Masters. Steven Silver. Look up
The
his
first
artwork.
prototype ghost portal was developed on campus using artificial ectopurifier and various components and scrap from nearby junkyards.
Yep.
The prototype was unsuccessful, and footage of the accident is now used for public safety announcements.
Oh,
Yeah.
is this the first custom
I'm telling you,
animation?
Jack, it won't work.
Yeah. And it's frame by frame too, not dragging assets. So. I don't remember if I ever posted the video, but I acted all of this out and chopped it up and studied it frame by frame to draw
The
this.
failed attempt led to Mr. Master
I don't
developing
think you
strange
posted
atypical
it.
disease called
Okay.
ectoacne, which had taken him years to recover from and soiled the friendship between the budding scientists. Years later,
Soiled
a
it.
similar accident had unfortunately met his son, Daniel Jonathan Fenton, with a similar
Jonathan from one of the original concept names for Danny Phantom was Johnny Fenton. So
casualty,
That's
aged
where that comes
14
from.
at the time of his accident. Both of these accidents has led them to develop ghost-like abilities and sparked a classic rivalry between
there's
ghosts.
the 5YL plug.
This also led to Dr. Fenton to successfully making the world's first fully functioning ghost portal.
Yeah, so
From
despite
there, Dr. Fenton
Jack's
was able to lead expeditions exploring
apparent
the ghost zone, along with
idiotic
harnessing its power to
personality,
fuel his arsenal of experiments,
he's a
vehicles,
genius.
and ghost-related weaponry. His expertise has been used to help prevent planetary destruction by using ghost power to turn the entire Earth intangible, allowing a threat known as the Disastroid to safely pass through the planet. Without Jack
forget
Fenton's technology, the
that
Earth,
happened.
as well as the ghost zone, would have been obliterated. Dr. Fenton has made a living off of his inventions. After proving to the
Mayor
world
Tucker.
the existence of ghosts,
So this is the new Fenton Works logo. It's not meant to like be as if like this is my art styles version of the Fenton Works logo. Like in universe, they went from using the old spongy one to this. They rebranded once they became like a world-renowned like production company.
and the genius of his inventions, he has provided special ghost
I love
hunting
the
equipment
jumpsuit
for
you gave
law
Jack.
enforcement around the globe.
It's just his regular jumpsuit, but unzipped to reveal a dress shirt. It's still the same jumpsuit. Like there's
didn't
no
realize-
way in hell you'll catch him outside of that jumpsuit.
Oh my-
Yeah, he wore
He
he
just
wore
has a
a
button
dress
up.
shirt and a tie under it and unzipped his jumpsuit, and that's all that is.
He's got that underneath all the time.
Yeah.
And has continued his research into the unknown with the study of cross-dimensional travel.
Hear
A
that?
research report is pending release from himself and his son Daniel, who is now aged 20.
I wonder how that's gonna go. Maybe watch episode 1 of 5YL coming Monday.
Oh.
The ghost zone is comprised of a special physics-breaking compound known as ecto-energy. This gooey green plasma can take the form of various states of matter,
was a good slap.
reach the concepts of reality and time, and even develop sentience. There's
Also, a quick note on Jack Fenton's intelligence. That's also why I believe Danny would be smart enough to break into the Null Void. Because for one, he uses Jack's notes, so Jack did all the heavy lifting, and for two, he was able to make sense of it, because he's Jack's son, and Jack's a freaking genius. Of course Danny's going to be a genius, too. And if he doesn't seem like it, well, neither does Jack. So, you know, Danny's a lot smarter than folks give him credit for. He could definitely use Jack's notes and open up that portal. My man Danny's a smart boy. He's smart.
Yeah, they only say he's failing English, not science.
Yeah, he just doesn't care.
Making it just as dangerous as it is captivating. While generally all intelligent ectoplasmic life from the ghost zone are classified as quote-unquote ghosts, there are two distinct forms of life that can be found
both
in the
did
ghost
that.
zone. The natives and the spirits.
This is our way to explain why
Much
some are
like the
friggin'
environment
monsters
they hail
and
from,
some are
creatures
good.
native to the ghost zone are comprised entirely of ecto-energy. These natives have a variety of appearances. Some may appear simply as gelatinous green energy with facial characteristics. Others can have more complex forms, resembling animals some may deem as mythological,
I love
as
this
well
one.
as the physical embodiment of
A Loch Ness
nightmares.
monster.
Yeah.
Example.
So I did that slow pan in to like give the creepy vibe, but I also didn't want to. I wanted to jump scare people with it, but I was like, that's too far. If I have it fade in, they'll see it coming. But
Yeah.
originally, when I edited it, it would just appear and go like, and I was like, nah. I hate jump scares myself.
Examples include ghostly dragons, skeletons.
All right, go ahead. Who is this?
Who do you think it is? It's Sans and Papyrus. He's got a plate of spaghetti. I had to. They had skeletons in the show, and I had to make an example. I wanted to. I'm sorry.
Also,
it's funny.
The hey, what's all the hubbub? I don't know who that is because that's just a epidemic sound effect, if you can believe it. There's actually a whole library of random phrases of adult men and women, child men and women, robot voices. They got so many miscellaneous phrases of people of all genders and ages that I'm surprised. I'm like, what's all this for? Well, for moments like this. So someone recorded, hey, what's all the hubbub? Put it on epidemic sound. Now I'm using it.
Skeletons, living nature, living
Oh, we're about to fire again.
living weather, and even living shadows that have been documented from the ghost
That
zone.
one I had to
The
make
level of
because you didn't make
intelligence
one
of
for
these natives
shadows.
may also vary,
Yeah.
and others have consciousness that can rightfully classify them as intelligent life. It appears the longer a creature has been quote-unquote alive, the more intelligent and powerful it becomes.
That's right.
The majority of all categorized ghosts are spirits of deceased humans from this dimension. They typically resemble their natural human appearance when alive, but with glowing retinas.
Oh, yeah.
Upon death, a living being
Lancer.
Oh yeah, we killed Lancer. I think I who vouched for that? I don't remember who came up with that. Honestly.
I came up with the idea, and you said it was okay because I wanted to use Lancer as a whole thing to be funny. But then afterward, we're like, wait a second, doesn't that mean he's dead? Yes. Canonically, Lancer died in the... Sorry, my mic cut out again.
It's all good.
Lancer died in the 5-year time skip, choking on a meatball at the, I think it's 5th annual teachers meat appreciation thing. Yeah. His last words were for whom the bell tolls, I think.
Yeah. And he died. So now he's the ghost principal.
Has a chance
Casper
of
High.
having their soul caught in the ghost zone during this phase of passing.
He's having a
on.
bad time
Their
right
soul
now.
can remain trapped.
Oh boy.
Unable to eat, sleep,
Lancer's having a bad
or
time.
leave.
Stan
Over
Hammerhand's
time,
in the
the
chat. What's up,
exposure causes
Stan?
them to mutate and
Stan, what
evolve,
up, yo?
Thanks for
creating
coming by.
unnatural-colored skin, pointed ears, and irregular muscle structures. The longer a soul remains there, the more ecto-energy corrupts it, but also rejuvenates its newfound metaphysical form. As a soul bonds with ecto-energy, the ecto-energy can physically manifest organic attributes that complement the soul's previous living body. This new ecto-energy body allows the soul to have a second chance at a somewhat physical existence, attributing common mortal characteristics such as aging, sleeping, and sexual reproduction. However, as both soul
Had to
and
explain that.
ecto-energy are infinite, there is nothing
We
to
really
stop
did.
the ecto-energy corruption.
Still hated
The
it.
ecto-energy will continue to evolve.
They're
these
like
spirits
ghosts can
indefinitely,
give birth
turning
in
them
the
into
afterlife,
massive,
so we're like,
powerful but feral beings.
okay.
On occasion, some beings have
I
transcended
do
the
really
overwhelming
like the
mental
artwork
strain
that
of
I
the
did
balance power they now
for
possess,
Evolved
For
Lancer.
Awakening Lancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
achieving what some may even classify as godhood.
Yeah.
The most notable ghostly deity is known as Clockwork, who watches over the time stream with his observers. And no, he is not a chronosapien.
There you go. It's not
I
Forrest.
was wrong.
There you go.
Others
I
have
was
fought
wrong.
against the corruption by using cybernetic body augmentation and enhancement.
Yeah, so the longer you're a ghost, the more feral and monstrous you become, and some try to prevent it by becoming cyborgs. And it slows it down, but it still doesn't work, because ghosts can corrupt technology, but this is at least a way to pause it.
Thinking the inorganic material of themselves can cease the spread of ecto-energy corruption. This proves to only be a temporary solution, as ecto-energy can
Yep.
both manipulate and be manipulated by
Thank you,
technology, as proven by
You're
Dr.
welcome.
Fenton.
By Dr. Fenton. We made him a doctor. Doc Fenton!
He went back to school after the show.
He did. Were
He
they...
just walked in, I made ghost tech.
Is this
Give
it?
me
Despite its
degree."
vast nature,
Okay.
the ghost zone actually has a solid topography. As stated before, this realm can be difficult to comprehend and easy to get lost in. However, there are a small amount of individuals that have noticed a pattern in how the rifts...
Bro, that hand is like the Arthur meme.
Oh my god. Why would you put that? I've never seen it like that. Oh my god.
Notice a pattern in how the rifts twist and turn based on recognizable landmarks known as sanctuaries.
Well,
These ecto-islands are scattered
the
throughout the ghost
sanctuaries.
zone and new ones pop up all of the time. They begin to manifest whenever a newfound spirit has absorbed enough ecto-energy to create metaphysical objects separate from their own body.
Yeah. Oh boy, all I do is think of school.
These sanctuaries are a way for the human mind of the spirit to cope with its own death, typically creating either a familiar, realistic, or fantastical environment themed around an aspect
It's where
of their
Lancer had to
previous
cope
life,
with his life,
making them
so why
lose
not his
themselves
death?
in their new
Yeah.
ghostly persona. Native ghosts also possess this ecto-terraforming ability, and their
See, look,
sanctuaries
it
are
happened in
created
the
by
show,
tribes
too.
or small civilizations, allowing
They never
them to be
explained
much
the
larger
islands, so
and
I
more
thought this was a
complex
cool
patches of
explanation.
terrain. And it's
Yeah, a lot of this is just based off of, like, Danny Phantom is kind of the opposite of Ben 10, where it just does not care about lore. Some things have backstories, like, in very broad strokes, but that's about it. So there's a lot to work with, but not a lot of answers. So that's also why I really like this episode. Because it's
Plus-
like, yeah.
Plus, the only time they do give us like lore stuff, it contradicts. You have the Poindexter episode of someone who died and is there as a ghost, but then you have statements from the writers saying, "Oh, ghosts were never actually dead people."
Yeah. Yeah, there's that. There's, you know, how time works in it, how big is it, the navigation, ghost powers and how they work. There's apparently some type of hierarchy where there's, like, the king of all ghosts.
In some cases, random terrain
Why,
can gain
what if they just
sentience and
ignored him
become
and
a
said,
living
no, you're not the
environment.
king?
Despite
Like, how does that work?
Despite having the energy to do so, many intelligent ghosts will not create a sanctuary and will instead wander
Skulker's not
aimlessly
chilling
through the realm,
anywhere.
trying to escape
Skulker's
to the
all
physical
set.
world, or take up host in natural occurring
Didn't Skulker have an island?
pockets throughout the zone, known by
I think he
many
had, like, a
names,
hunting
such
island.
as hideouts, realms.
But, like,
Oh,
was it,
fair.
like, his... Well, I guess it could be a sanctuary, sure. Yeah. Alright.
and rooms. They are visually represented by doors. Doors can
He
also
just doesn't
represent
seem like
portals
somebody that would
leading
need
back
it,
to Earth.
but maybe he
But there's
did
a high
in order to
possibility
become
it
the
won't be
person
same point
he is
you
now.
left. These earthly portals don't stay open for very long.
Nope.
So if you're planning an expansive trip to the Ghost Zone, you'll definitely want an infinite map handy.
Yeah, the map.
That's not the map of the
No,
Infinite
that's
map.
not. Yeah, can you imagine? That was just that's wild. There's the Infamap and then the map of infinity. Of course there is. This is
The Ghost Zone, a scary place to live in for.
now. Honestly, I'm very impressed with your Klemper voice here, and also this
In
is
the yeah, dude, I love
Yeah.
Klemper so much.
this is the first time I was able to like change the positions of where he comes through in the headphones. I did it a very complicated way. I've learned how to do it so much easier now, but like I did it.
For sure. But thankfully, we
So
were
you
just
can hear
visiting.
him
Make
move
sure to
left
plunge
or
back
right.
into the
I'm
void
gonna do that
sometime
right
and join
now.
me on another extra-dimensional exploration. And next time, when you get there, tell them Horus sent you. This is Horus, signing...
Will you be my friend?
I drew that ice.
I'm sorry. I am programmed for observation, not interaction. No.
I love Klemper.
What are you doing? I am not programmed.
Yeah, see, it sucks that we didn't have his face animated for this.
Friend is me.
Back up, Quasi-Ghosto.
Trying to make jokes.
Yeah.
Quasi-Ghosto. God.
Yup.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Is this the music we also used in Anur?
It is, but I think we released this the October before Enter.
Oh, yep. Thank you to all these people.
Yes, thank you, everybody. Some of these people still to this day support
Yeah.
Patreon. So
Thank
thank you
you.
for your continued support.
So that was the Ghost Zone. What?
Honestly,
Yeah.
solid episode. I really like that one.
It's a lot better than I feel like I remember it being. I think I remember it not being too great because it's not a popular one. You know, people like the alien planets a little bit more, but it's a solid episode. I really think it was well put together. Had a lot of great lore.
Plus, crammed a lot of information and not too long. episode too.
We did. That felt like a 20-minute episode.
How long is it? I forget.
It's like 9 minutes, maybe 12.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, it's not that long. Yeah. Taking another quick second to shout out the Taurus plushies. We are trying to sell 500 in the next 10 days. We're up to 324, but we still have ways to go. You can enter a chance to be in 5YL if you buy one. Or you could just buy one to save him. Save this beautiful Taurus. Or else we're going to kill his kid. I'm going to set Taurus up right in the backyard and make him watch. And then just leave it. I won't even have to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm Sid from Toy Story. How you doing?
And if you're one of those evil people that still want to see that just happen to Taurus, get us to the goal and we'll have enough extra.
Yeah, take one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can all be Sid.
I just want you to know that they are intelligent, though, so he will feel the pain. And he will feel betrayed by you. He's going to watch you as you hurt him. And that's
He will
on
look
you.
at you and just go, beep, beep.
Yeah. Can I get a horse? Horses are currently not available, but Taurus is the next best thing, I believe.
It's half a horse.
It's half a horse. In fact, if you buy two and just put them right next to each other.
Yep. This is just, it's two Taurus right there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. But let's do it, man. Let's get those sales up to 500 if we're able to. That'll be pretty dope. I believe in you folks. You've supported us this far, and the funds will go directly into our projects.
Yes.
Mostly just, paying the motion comic cast. That's a big part of it. That's where most of the budget goes. But they're a very talented group. We work with a lot of great people. So they're well deserving. Up next we got, what is it? Episode 4. We got Sonorosia coming up. This is going to be a fun one to get through. Now Sonorosia, I felt like was pretty intricate with a lot of the effects. By then we've done 3. So we were starting to get used to the method. So we got a little bit more bold and daring with the animations and the art assets. We also, we threw in the Alamarans there. Did you create the term Alamaran?
I did, because Inspector 13 does not have a listed species other than oh god, it's like I can't what is
the
it?
Tekton Weapon Masters?
That's what it was. Thank you. The Weapon Masters.
The Techie Weppy Mappy?
Yeah, the Techie Wecky Mappy. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alamarans are meant to be a what is it? In Pikmin, the astronaut dudes, Alamar. I wanted him. He looks like he's wearing a space most of the time, so
I didn't even know that. I don't think.
Yeah.
Did I know that? Did I know
don't think
that?
So. But think of it like those guys were the Alamar, and the Sonorosians were Pikmin.
That's right. I get it now.
This episode was super. As far as all the like early episodes, I think this was like my favorite to work. It's really cool. Plus the stuff, the info you gave me, Disc Jock, initially, and like integrating that in, it's so cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I saw something about Pariah Dark is so powerful, that's why the ghosts fear him. But I guess my confusion with that is like the entire ghost zone, like literally every single ghost can't stand up to Pariah Dark. What about Clockwork? What's he doing? He's just letting it happen. He's like,
I don't want to deal with
damn,
it.
this sucks to be down there, man. Closes his window.
No, I think it's just like a self-appointed title, King of Ghosts. He
Yeah.
probably had a kingdom at some point, but it didn't stretch the whole ghost zone.
I just find it hard to believe that the entire ghost zone was once under Pariah Dark's rule.
Hell no.
Like, especially when all the like Vortex, can you imagine that? Vortex versus Pariah Dark. Let's go.
I live to serve you, Pariah
Yeah,
Dark.
no chance. Well, I mean, Vlad did have a handle over Vortex initially, but he got free. I don't know.
Well, That's what I'm saying. It's a power thing.
Yeah.
Frederick is powerful, but it's a self-appointed title that no one disagrees.
Right. They're just like, yeah, so there's probably people out there that could do something, they just don't care. They're like, yeah, man, king of whatever. I'm over here, man.
I'm telling you, man, Box Ghost has got him beat.
This side of the ghost zone, we're real chill over here. We don't do any of that king stuff, you know? That's a lot. That's a lot to deal with.
I also like the idea of, like, because the ghost zone is, like, infinite and weird, a bunch of ghosts not even knowing who he is or ever hearing of him. Like, Poindexter just being like, who's that? I don't know who that is. I live Ghost Casper High.
I do think Poindexter knew about him, but
I know.
Yeah,
I
somebody like him. Yeah, no, I get you. All right, let's just jump into it, man. I'm ready.
Oh yeah,
I'm ready. It's Sonorossia time. Oh, this is also my first voice role too, because I do all of the Sonorossians that are just kind of like, whoa, and apparently that sounds like Toad. I didn't make that connection, but I hear it now. Damn. That really hurt my throat. Oh yeah, Forrest comes back like this soon.
Continuation of Forrest.
System. No. Zolbrine. Anyway.
I love that.
Good evening, extranet and multidimensional
Oh,
traveler.
hold up. I forgot to change the freaking. Yeah. My bad. We didn't make it that far into it.
That's already then.
What's up?
The glitching, that is me. Some of it you do cut up a little bit, but most of it is like me just going back and forth.
Actually,
with my
this
voice.
one I didn't cut with at all. I only did that in episode 10. This one is literally just all you, and it sounds so good.
And like back and forth. It's just
Yeah,
weird.
this is all Ryan.
System.
Even that part. Yeah.
System.
Yep. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Zolbrine. Anyway. Good evening, extranet and multidimensional travelers. Welcome back to And Beyond, where we plunge into the void and explore our ever-expanding multiverse.
I think this is the
I'm your
first
host,
like
the
actual
R300
solid
Orion IT
voice.
Systems Model B or 4. But you can call me
Yep.
Horace. Today we'll be continuing our extraterrestrial
Echo,
exploration
Echo!
on the perfect planet of Sonorossia.
Here he's coming at you.
And please equip your earplugs. We don't want anyone's liquefied brain matter spilling out.
Yeah. I gotta turn this down too. Keepers, folks. They're all pretty loud at first. Might be.
His B.
Might be. Ba-da-da, na-da-da.
I love the saxophone so much. It's so random, but fits so well with Horace, I think.
I'm starting to run out of colors.
Sonorossia, the most forgotten planet in its system, on the surface appears to be lifeless. This is made very evident by the lack
Also, I don't know if anybody's really noticed, but the color of the text is always changing. That's not on purpose. That's just me forgetting what color I made the text last time. And just, like, clicking somewhere in, like, the rainbow, like, hex selection. I'll just be like, green.
the floral life or bodies of water, as well as the crumbling cities and structures of a previous civilization. Composed mainly of stone and sand, the planet's structure is riddled with immense gorges and canyons that cut deep into the mantle. Thanks to the various openings to its mantle, the planet's rotational force
So
has many
that's the
imbalances
only
that
actual
summarize the
lore bit from
electromagnetic pole
franchise we know about
because
Sonorossia,
the size
is
of
that
the
it's covered in
planet
caverns and
pole
gorges.
generated is so strong it attracts any and all radio waves and frequencies from up to a parsec away. The abundance of frequencies paired with the EM pole creates a very dense ionosphere surrounding the planet, resulting in frequent
That's
and lightning
awesome.
storms,
I love that so
making
much.
planetary travel very difficult. But
That's
it wasn't
really
always
good.
like this.
It wasn't always like this.
Centuries ago, Sonorossia was thriving technology.
There were hamsters running the world. Hamsters!
Humanoid beings with green-blue skin.
Those are
Hey,
some funny looking
it's them.
hamsters, bro.
I am actually super happy with the designs I did for them. Like their overall suits and everything.
Oh,
it
yeah.
feels like Inspector 13 still, but like a slight like departure from it to where it still feels like its own thing.
Yeah, no, I like it a lot. Like this is honestly one of my favorite, like, what would you call it? I just like the way that you design the Alamarans. Like, because you're very diverse with all of your characters. You give them a lot of different body shapes and genders, but, like, some about the way you do the Alamarans just looks dope to me. I like it.
Thank you.
I think it's also maybe just because you didn't have a lot to work with. You just had Inspector 13. So to see all of this diversity with very little to work with. I think that's what makes it impressive to me.
They lacked in physical prowess, they more than made up for in intellect. As a result of their hyper-intelligence, they lived by a code of logic. If something was deemed illogical, they would give it no thought.
That's
this
right.
would include emotions and empathy.
That's some freaking toxic masculinity right there, buddy.
This mindset led them to make amazing and destructive breakthroughs in technology, bringing their planet up to a tech level 13.
Now this is the Cinco-Trix and something?
A blaster.
A
It's
blaster.
blaster from Omniverse.
Over time,
Oh,
they
okay.
would start selling this technology off-world and were met with high demand.
Oh, and then Siphon
Yep.
6.
This caused overharvesting of
villains.
raw materials and pollution, inevitably leading to the death of their planet. Some say the species died with it. Others believe they simply left to continue their work where they could find
Is that Dr. Logic? No, Dr. Logic is an orangutan.
materials. Though it seems that life is long since gone in Eurasia, there are still two species.
Sorry, just the way you said that. You were like so like like it could be true, but you're embarrassed.
I was thinking
he's an orangutan. It's like it's that professor from Futurama that calls out Farnsworth on the evolution.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Alamarn section goes by so fast. No,
It
that
does.
couldn't have been all of it, right? I felt like you did more with them.
I had more, but I cut it because I didn't want the episode to be too long. And honestly, we didn't know enough about them anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I think you did enough with them, though. And they do show up in the later sections. Maybe that's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, so Disc Jockey was another one that I made. So back during Chapter 3, I was designing a bunch of random background characters for the Bellwood Citizens. Which, if you would like to be a Bellwood Citizen in Motion Comic Episode 3, coming next week on the 20th, you should buy a TORAS keychain with the link down below and enter the raffle.
Get it now!
I was designing a bunch of them, and Disc Jockey's design was just a random one that Insane Man took that and did make his own pass on it and gave it a little bit more detail, which I liked. And then we just turned it into a full-on alien. But yeah, so I do have Insane Man to thank for his input with Disc Jockey. He rounded out the design more, but originally he was just a random dude I made to be a background alien in that chapter that we never even ended up putting in the city.
Mechanical hybrid creatures composed of high ionized frequencies hosted in...
Oh, great. Oh, am I having the... Oh, what is this? No. Why is the text overlapping the title?
Through the combination of abandoned technology...
This looks awesome. I love this.
This is probably my favorite bit of the episode.
Quite literally.
And the lighting effects, too.
In a bottle. Upon being grounded in the mechanical construct,
I'm so glad this ended up
the
looking
ionized
good.
frequencies funneled into it become trapped inside and build
Yeah.
energy, similar to a Leyden jar.
Okay, so
Over
real
time,
quick.
this energy becomes...
What's up?
With the Sanavox, as people know, I don't like mechanical aliens, like at all. I wanted them to have some unique spin to them, which is why we went with this, that it's like a... Really, the Sanavox itself is the ionized lightning, just being hosted inside the mechanical construct. That's why yes, the body itself is mechanical and metal and everything, but the actual living part of it is the energy inside of it. Think of it like energy, if the suit was literally his body.
NRG is GOOD. Right. Is that all right?
No, that's right. That's right.
No, I like it because
forehead.
it's like every species is born as the species and then finds a suit to put on or needs a suit or this and that. Here it's the suit comes first, and then a species is born in the suit. That's awesome. And like, that was just, I love it, man. Good stuff.
So great it begins to meld and manifest the signals
Starts blorping around and shit.
form of thought and speech.
Hold on.
Meld and manifest
Yeah, look at him.
signals and frequencies into a form of thought and speech, becoming a
Oh,
consciousness.
there he is. Hello?
These
All
are
their sound effects are
ranging
insects,
in
by the
size
way.
dependent on their
Yeah,
vessel.
that's great.
All Sanovox
Yeah.
have two prevalent abilities.
I wanted this really like tight, high, like beeping, like chirping kind of sound. And then it turns out I was looking for bugs. So these are all like actual
On
bugs.
their vessel, all Sanovox have two prevalent abilities. Vibrational
You hear that?
manipulation by
Sandbox
speeding
your
up or
buttons.
slowing down their own frequential
Force
forms and channeling the
fields.
physical waves through their suits,
Awesome.
and dialinguistics, being able to understand any language they hear by
Yeah.
absorbing in its sound waves and converting them into a
Hi,
frequency.
Fred, you smell
This
very
also
nice.
works on all other forms of frequency. They use both these abilities on a daily basis in search for
Dude, you are crazy with some of your things, man.
Xenobots spend their
I
days
love
in
just
search
putting like the most unexpected things in places.
It don't always work. I will say, I wish I worked on this walking animation better. Because
It's pretty good. I mean, this is already pretty hard, like comparatively.
Waking up in their harsh environment with nothing but a hum of
Oh, this
voices
part always
and
makes me a little
sounds from the
sad.
sky. These sounds are just frequencies they don't.
Quick thing, this squiggle asset is the Omnitrix EMP from Ben 10 Illustrated.
Oh?
Yeah,
From the sky.
reuse that
These
asset.
sounds are just frequencies they don't realize that they're able to hear. They don't know how or why they're there.
They hear
or what
lightning.
they even are. So they search.
You're hearing voices.
Searching for others of their
So they're like,
kind
where did
in
they come
hopes
from?
they can learn.
They
When
have
they
no
do
idea.
eventually find others, they will
They
typically
wake
form
up
a
by
tribe,
themselves.
roaming around
Man,
from
see,
small
like, how are you gonna look at my disc jockey alien and come up with all of this? This is just so impressive, dude. Like, this is so far from the design, but it still looks like one of the members of the species. Like, that's awesome.
That's one of the things I love about Ambient, that it gives you be able to explore the design theory of them in a different way that isn't just, let's take the stock art and hue shift it a little.
Mm-hmm.
It's every living thing is its own individual in some way, shape, or form. They should be able to be represented. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I think I like the one on the right the most, just because it's so different. Like with the two different heads.
Those are twins.
I like it, and they have 4 legs too.
settlements that they've made from the remnants